Waiting to go live. Hey, we're live. Nice. Sweet. Trying a different ratio. So we're not going into the short feed this time. Just see how it goes. See if it's a nicer experience, basically. Okay. You know what? I am going to watch something.
Something in the chat on the side. It's pretty clear that the car backs up and the guy's just standing in front of the car.
Love that.
Like if your standard here has to do with moving vehicle, like the cop should have just stepped out of the way. If he sees the car, especially like why are they backing up here? Obviously to leave.
Right.
So the guy
Okay.
is,
Cool.
like, he moves to stand in front of the car as it's backing up. He very easily could have just taken another step or two to the side. Like he pulls his gun out. Like right as the car basically changes gears, and then starts shooting. And
well,
and
like obviously. Sorry.
Right, a couple of things I'm after. I want to get these things so I can actually properly build them. So to level up, I need one more Rocketeer driver, and we're good to go. I also need still 2 more Sentinel cores, and we're good to go. So that's my... By the way, let's just go drive me at the wall.
And he visibly sees them not
there we go.
The wheel far
Zoom back in.
to
Okay, so I need to get those 2 things, otherwise I'm slowly gonna lose the will to live.
Didn't even get hit at all by the car, even though he made minimal attempt to move.
Let's just this again.
Like they were trying to detain a person. You can't shoot a person just because you're trying to detain them and they run away. You're
okay.
not allowed to shoot the person.
What do I have? Inventory. Okay, not terrible. Not terrible. Weapons. My anvil. You know what? I'll keep that as opposed to that for now. But mag shot, Toronto and volcano. That for that, that for that. Let's get that, let's get that. Okay, let's repair this. That. I should be able to make more better explosive, more better. Christ, my grammar. I should be able to make better explosives than this, surely. These. Okay, what do you actually need to make these? Arc motion cores and explosive compounds. That's it? That's all you need? It's not bad. Gunsmith.
There's a reason why I know he didn't get hit by the car, and it's because nobody in the administration said so.
What do I need to make? The Renegade. That's a cool silencer. That's that. Mod components. These things are rare. Like, these are really hard to find. Reduce recoil. Reduce noise. That's all it does. Reduce vertical recoil. Okay. Okay. So we'll max these things out. What was it? That's good. We'll get one more of those. That's fine. Okay, where are we going?
He holsters his firearm immediately after. Nobody goes chasing the woman like they're worried about her being a dangerous threat or anything. I'm pretty sure the guy was just mad as fuck.
You know what? If I'm doing a night raid, I want a better gun.
We haven't seen yet off camera because he had his phone out and he was standing behind the car before and he's just upset.
I would strongly contest that. I mean, if you watch the footage and you listen, especially to his handheld footage, you can hear him audibly like you go like whoa in terror as the car accelerates. And I guess I'm happy to go on the road about whether or not he did.
Let's go. Actually, wait. Cancel. Something I learned the other day that I need to take way more thing with is these. Looting. Only 2?
Sure, maybe not, but I'm just saying that
24 versus 22.
This administration has put out a myriad of statements about this incident. Nothing about any injuries.
That's 1. That's 18.
I feel very comfortable saying the officer sustained no injuries.
That's Mark 3. Okay, screw it. Can I make keys here? Medical lab. Keys. I can make keys. I could make a lot of keys. Okay, cool. You know what? We're taking a hatch key with us. Because I don't see the point in faffing around if I don't have to faff around. Confirm. Let's go.
hear a different sound of the collision prior to shooting. And I've seen some people dismiss this as being rustling in his pocket, but I think if you go really slowly in the audio, and I did in a video I made about this, you can see that there is a difference in the way that the impact
Yeah, man, again, this
sounds
is
and
not,
vibrates
there's
first.
nothing on video that's going to convince me of this. When he went to the hospital and was cleared, and there wasn't any release of any kind of injury whatsoever.
I'm not expecting to get any views, by the way, while in this format. None whatsoever.
I imagine if you got hit, there would at least be a bruise or
Because it's
Well,
just
no one's arguing
very
he got,
hard
like,
to get
violently
discovery if you're
hit.
not in
Like,
short
something. Let me
format.
repeat this again. Hold on, because you keep saying, I'm saying that he didn't even get a minor injury. I think in my mind, where I'm at right now, is the only contact he had with the car was his hand that was on the hood because he was leaning over. I don't think the car hit him, bumped him, bruised him, or anything whatsoever. I don't think even a minor abrasion or minor trauma or anything. I don't think anything happened. I don't think he had a single bruise. That's
Okay, where are we?
And I think that the fact that he went to the hospital and he got cleared on that seems to agree.
Have I started out in the worst possible location?
That would have been information that would have released.
Have your eyes adjusted
See,
to the
I
dark
think
yet,
that this
Raider?
is like a false equivalency.
Loot is
whether or
ripe
not he
for the
was
picking
injured,
while
whether
most
he
of Toledo is
I mean,
asleep.
obviously you can argue
But my
that
suppliers
maybe
say
there
that
was some
Ark is
small
twice as
hit or
vigilant after
bruise or
sunset.
something along those lines, but if you notice, he gets clearly, I guess the two pieces of footage
Did I get that?
disprove this is the side shot. If you go slowly in this, you can see him get like uncontrollably moved by the vehicle. Like there's frames
Okay.
where he's like not leaning over the vehicle, but wherein he's like.
Let's go here.
Go to the power generation
Actually, no, we're gonna. No, we're gonna go here.
Let's go to research and administration.
A semi-uncontrollable fashion.
Well,
And
yeah, because
then-
it looks like he's like leaning over because he's got his hand on the hood.
I don't believe that's true. I think that's not.
The irony is, I've spent so long playing to the monitors, I actually don't really know
The rooftop footage.
my way in depth around this map. So I also don't know if people here are going to be friendly or not. So there's a lot of things to consider.
Yes. That's a good
Oh. Here, for example, there's a lot more flying stuff.
What part of his body do you think the vehicle made contact with?
Oh, someone got murked.
I don't know if it's too like clear to call, but it most definitely made contact with enough of his body to physically move him.
I'm 17 minutes in. Damn it.
Like I don't think it just bumped his hand and then he fired away. I think it was very clear that it hit him, probably like on his
Right, someone's
left
getting
side of
out.
his body, somewhat rotating him and causing him to move from the vehicle.
So that hit was enough to move what looks to be ordinary adult-sized male. Not a single bruise on his body from it.
Well, the level of movement's gonna be exactly so like, I mean, I guess they definitely like cast some level of doubt.
All this stuff's been raided. Damn
No, I
it.
agree. It would have disproved it. However,
What's
the
that?
problem is that he went to the hospital immediately after to get cleared, and then nothing. There's nothing. No report of any injury or anything. No bruises. When I say injury, I'm including like even like a bruise. Like there's no marks or anything. There was any information that was. This is not even a small bruise on his body.
I mean, yeah, he may not have been bruised from it, but like you can visually see him get hit, like make contact with the vehicle.
This place has been totally
I think
goddamn
the information
emptied.
that you want to say that he got hit by the vehicle, and then he got hit by the vehicle, but there's not even a minor anything, I guess, on his body from it.
Yeah, I guess if that's what the official medical report is, then that is just a factual statement. But by no means do I believe that can
What the fuck?
It's obviously the case here with multiple footage. Watching in slow motion, but definitely the rooftop footage.
Well, here,
shows him being
I'm
hit.
curious. When we look at the footage of the guy, of the officer, the actual footage of him, like I see, like you have a car.
I even
that's
when there was any
turned
point, I
on
might
the
just
middle of the
just
street.
go out and jump back in again later on. And I'm pretty serious when I say that. It's like,
why does he
Head
step
home
in
at the
front of
North
this car
Complex
here? I
elevator.
don't understand why he would stand in front of the car with the driver.
Like I'm just
in the
way
car
too late
car
in.
on. He sees her turn the wheel. He sees her back up.
I guess it's important to like differentiate between the two things. So I'm fully like I don't have enough information about how law enforcement operates to contest whether or not he was or was not acting like in the most efficient way. I know I've seen some police chiefs say this is a reasonable tactic. I know the Minnesota, I believe, police chief said, or no, Minneapolis police chief said that this is not a way that any of his people would behave. But I don't see that as like my only focus of this whole thing is whether or not he committed a crime of like murder. That's really all that I'm.
But the thing, but the important thing is whether or not he's placing himself, because you can't place yourself in a situation where you're just gonna have to shoot somebody. And all the federal guidelines and everything claim that you're not supposed to put yourself in front of a car. That you can't. Yeah, that Barnes case, you know, you can't have a situation where an officer placed himself where he's gonna have to kill somebody when it could easily be avoided. And just looking at like, there's absolutely no reason. Can you admit that there's no reason for the cop to ever?
Well, I didn't shoot it, so someone else did.
Seen it move, and then it's an active vehicle that the lady's in. Like, there's no reason for him. Like, if he was scared for her to hit him,
Where are you? Where are you?
Where
are you?
Just be in front of this vehicle. There's literally no reason. He does it twice too.
Well, so I don't believe that he was afraid of like dying prior to the and so I guess it's an important differentiation. Talking about like the large restrictions, you can see for yourself if the car was already moving and then he jumped in front of you and shot, it's obviously illegal, super messed up, should go to jail. But this is a very different scenario. This is essentially
No, when you say moving or not moving, I don't believe moving or not moving. I don't believe it. My guess is
Nice timing, guys.
You're gonna treat a car that's sitting at a red light a lot differently than you would a parked car with the keys out of the ignition. You know, this car.
Yeah, get in.
He watches the car, I think, back up, and he sees the wheels turn. Yeah, like right here, the car starts like at 39 seconds. The last video it linked. You can see that the car backs up, and he stands in front of it. Why? What's he gonna do? Block it? Like you're inducing a death scenario here, which is exactly what happened. And a scenario where there's no threat to his life, which is exactly also what happened. Oh, if you click Destiny's room in Discord, if you click open chat on the left, this is the officer body camera.
Actually, you know what? No, they have this kind of gun. They have those kind of parts in thingy as well, don't they? Screw it. Let's do that.
So first off, like I guess moving.
Well, and also in front of a moving car too. That's what I'm saying. At 39 seconds, this car is moving backwards, and he steps in front of it.
Well, he's already in the room. So,
well, but he can move, right? He can move.
Yeah, you can. He does make movement while he's already in front of the car. But I guess it's a clear differentiation. So.
Wait, no way. He has his phone out and he's recording. He's not hustling. He's not moving. This is not the movement of a man who is potentially fearing for his life.
I guess I want to break it down to a few points because it's a little bit like. So firstly, like the point of a car being up, like you shouldn't put yourself in the way of an on car versus a parked car. This is different. While these things are different actions, it is most definitely not considered harm to move in front of it.
I'm pretty sure it's in the whatchamacallit now, the robot room. If memory serves. Sometimes you get lucky.
If you're moving around a vehicle at a traffic light, like no one reasonably.
You just gotta watch out for the goddamn screamers.
Move in front of a non-moving car at a traffic light.
I don't think anybody would argue that because I don't think this ever happens because a cop would never stand in front. I don't think I've ever watched a traffic stop where the cop just stands in front of the car.
Where's the robot room? Damn it.
The cop would get killed. Why would he do that? Like,
where am I in
nobody
this?
does that. Like these are like crazy power tripping wannabe gods to think that they can step in front of a Honda Pilot. And I don't even know what the point is. Like I don't think any police officer. It could also be the fact that these guys got whatever 47 days of training and they're all 80 IQ. Like, I don't know, but like no ordinary traffic cop. I've seen so many cop stop videos on YouTube. Cops would never pull you over, and I got a lot of speeding tickets when I was younger. Okay, cops never pull you over and then stand in front of your car. What would be the point of that? You're just gonna do it if you don't accomplish anything else.
I can empathize with criticisms over the tactics, and obviously there is a lot of.
Wait. It's not a criticism of the tactic. It's a tactic that you would never use. It doesn't help enforce the law. It doesn't keep the perpetrator safe. It doesn't keep you safe. It's literally minimizing it for every single outcome, except for the likelihood of somebody dying.
But he's still not placing himself in the harm by moving from a non-moving vehicle.
It was moving. Wait here. Click the link that I did and watch from like 30 seconds onwards. On Destiny's room, there's like a.
I'm gonna give you like sub chat. I'm not gonna. It says messages going on.
Okay, hold on. I'm adding you to front of this room and then
This is the handheld footage. Okay, so he's already. I guess
Watch out.
Bit by bit so
Yeah.
the initial action, he goes around the car, speak to her. And after the positions specific, later on. So here I'm watching him move around the car. So the car reverses to a position where he's more directly in front of the car.
What timestamp?
Hey there.
I'm at 35 seconds.
Okay, 35 seconds. Yep, I'm watching.
So he stands in front of the car, and moves himself in front of the car while it is reversing.
Which is a
Or,
type
well,
of
I guess,
movement,
well,
right?
He's already in front of the car while it's reversing. Actually, he's already in the line of the car's trajectory while it's reversing.
He could move.
He can. It is not. He has no legal duty to change.
He absolutely does. He's standing in front of a car. What do you mean? No, he doesn't.
Legally, he has no duty to retrieve.
He absolutely has a duty to move himself. You're confusing. You're using this phrase, legal duty to retrieve, to imply or to intuition pump here that somebody's charging at him with a knife. But that's not the case here. This isn't a weapon that's being used to murder somebody. It's also a tool that's being used to transport people. It's a car. The idea that he wouldn't have a duty to use literally with a weapon, I agree. But in this case, he places himself in front of a car, and if anything, I kind of wonder, because the lady, as she goes to put it in park and looks at him, I wonder if she just expects him to keep walking. But if anything, he fucking stops. He stops like he wants to fight the car.
Watch out for the trash can that blows up.
He probably would have made it. Like 39, 40, at around 40 seconds, he stops moving like he's going to block the car with his body. And then he reaches his hand and he starts driving away.
Legally, he does not have a duty to retrieve. He is in front of the
No, he has a duty to put himself in front of the car. He didn't kill her because he decided to step in front of the car. Just to be clear, this is not difficult at all. This is super easy. If the political parties or whatever were changing, we'd be on the exact opposite side of this. This is very, very, very obvious. Like, I can link you to vehicles training manual, I can link you any local companies. Do not place yourself in front of a vehicle. We can go through a million traffic stop videos on YouTube that involve killings and non-killings. You will never see a cop just stand in front of a vehicle. It doesn't help him do any part of his job. And then the worst and dumbest thing in the universe is that you never see it. You can't find any analog shit. Because the cop just wouldn't do it. It's just dumb. He would have just kept walking. He would have been out of sight of the car, right? 100%. Or, like, the cop chooses this fight here. He chooses to place himself in front of the vehicle. It's very obvious to everybody that this vehicle is about to leave. Right? She backs up from the vehicle. He's going to leave, and then he decides to turn it into a murder situation.
So I guess these are very different things. I do want to break it down into like the two categories of points. So the first point, I feel as though this is unrelated. So obviously, whether or not he is doing the correct police maneuver, I don't know everything, but the evidence that I've seen seems as though he is not behaving in a way that is ideal to manage the situation. It's probably, I'd say, almost factually true. It probably would have been easier off if he kept walking. Yeah, but it's always about the way down. I'm only concerned whether or not he legally acted in self-defense. And so you are allowed to legally move yourself in front of the car and act. So it's just factual.
I think you got it, guys.
Super semantic, but he stands pretty much still. And you see, he roughly stops moving as the car is backing up. And the car backs up, moving him into the trajectory of the vehicle. So he doesn't see the car backing up and then move in front of it. He's in front of it, and the car backs up to make himself in front of it, essentially. Which is a little bit visually hard because the car moves in a way that makes it seem as if it's a contiguous motion. But
Nice, well done.
If he just kept walking, he would have been totally outside of where this car was pointed, no?
Yeah, I mean, if he jumped out of the way when the car came at him, if he
No, not jump,
sprinted out
not
of
jump,
the
no,
way-
not jump, just kept walking at the exact same pace he was at 40 seconds. If he just kept walking at the exact same pace instead of stopping, he stopped at 40 seconds. Stopped here. So we could watch this, and then if he would have just kept walking at the same slow pace.
So that exploding trash can's still out there.
Well, it does because he's
65. Yeah, we're gonna go. Let's go.
So as far as the gap, we're talking about placing yourself in harm's way versus being in harm's way.
At home at the loading bay metro.
Running out. These are very different things. All these things are
Yeah, so he places himself in harm's way by standing in front of a car that's on in the middle of the street, and then he sees it back up, and you know that you're backing up to leave, and he stands in front of the car, he's placing himself in harm's way.
No, placing himself in harm's way does not account for not continuing to move harm. If you're placing yourself in a legally allowed position, and then from there you have to stop.
Hey, does anyone here know the answer to this question? Do you get sentinel turrets here, or that is the regular turrets?
Placing yourself in harm's way, it's being in harm's way and not running out.
You can get sentinel force from
And even then, I would maybe
So if you can afford that, you can find them there or in parts of
action
as
time
well.
fully understood.
Where, sorry?
So you
Well, to be clear, she didn't accelerate into him, she accelerated to the right,
can tell you where the
which is very obvious.
best only way to get sentinel force.
Well, yeah, because he decided to step in front of the vehicle again and just
Okay.
his feet there, where she backed up.
Yeah, but regular turrets are not gonna top sentinel force.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, it seems random. Sometimes you'll just find like a sentinel. Yeah. Anyway.
Made the decision
How is it, even if I were to grant all of them,
Testing.
force,
Testing. Okay, yes, it does.
so if an officer is standing next to me and I open my door and I hit him with the door, he can shoot and kill me because I'm using my car as a deadly weapon?
I guess that was too liberal with my language, but if you're hit by a car, it's deadly force.
The officer is... Hold on. I'm just saying if we agree on this point. If he were to continue walking instead of stopping at 40 seconds, not sprinting, not jumping, if he would just continue to walk, he wouldn't be in the path of his car at all, correct?
That seems factually true, yeah.
Okay. And we see that he decides to stop walking after the car is moving already, right?
Yes.
So he's walking, and then it looks like... Hold on. Then the car starts to move, and then while the car is moving, he stops in front of the car.
Let's sell some sheets. I think I need those, so no.
So why doesn't he just keep walking?
Sell that.
In fact, it looks like it almost looks
So
like it
those.
almost looks like he takes a step back towards the car. Hold on.
Toaster. Sell.
At like 40 seconds. This is not the so to be fair, because the legal analysis of this truly has to begin prospectively with the state of mind of the person. It actually doesn't matter if the person behind the car has a lethal intent or anything else, right? Because we don't know that. The person at the time, it's like there's like a reasonable person standard, okay? And but the issue is that people like to try to bring up some of the legal stuff to say that, you know, people on the left are missing the analysis. But when you start getting into the legal stuff and you do this like reasonable person test, and you start looking at the actions of every other person around and the actions of the cop, like, do you sincerely believe, at 39 seconds, do you sincerely believe that this cop thought that his life was in danger?
I believe he legally is allowed to have thought that.
No. Do you, would a reasonable officer in this position, okay, who just spent 40 seconds arguing with a lesbian couple in a Honda Pilot, who is circling this vehicle the entire time, where no violent actions or words have been exchanged, you think at 39 seconds, do you think that this cop could have reasonably thought, oh, she's trying to murder me with her car?
He was about to hit him with a deadly weapon. He definitely reasonably...
Do you think that... No. Murder. That she was trying to kill him with the car. She was intentionally aiming her car at him because she wants to run him over. That a reasonable officer in this position would have thought that.
Attack with a deadly weapon. This is Graham versus Connor. Is always reasonably be able to be retaliated with a deadly weapon. He doesn't have to evaluate... I guess... Whether
Oh, that's what that's for.
She is still attacking him with a deadly weapon and making an active decision that was dangerous.
You're conflating the deadly weapon thing. The car has dual use. It's not just a weapon, right? So if it was like a machete or a gun, then I think this deadly weapon reasonable approach is okay. Like, I'm not going to assume he's going to shoot me in the leg. He's got a gun, he could kill me. But with a vehicle, we also have to make the call on whether or not we think it's being used to try to kill somebody or the person just driving away with it. So at 39 seconds, do we genuinely feel like an officer in this position be like, oh yeah, she's trying to kill me. She's using her car as a deadly weapon and not just trying to drive away.
Part when you hit someone is always a deadly weapon. I mean, yeah, sure, she could have been trying to use it as transport, but she clearly used it in the scenario as a weapon. It was
well, but like clearly that's not factually that's not what happened.
I
Right?
live in a fantasy
like,
world.
You have no
apparently.
proof that the officer got hit by anything. There was no release from the hospital. You can look at a video from different angles and you can give me your take on it, but that's just not what happened. That's never going to be the case, and you've always lost that argument without anything from the hospital to show otherwise. Unless you're saying an adult male got hit by an SUV thing and there's not even a single bruise on his body to show for it.
The hospital. So if you go to the footage wherein he's clearly displaced actively by the vehicle, and if you watch the handheld footage, it's clearly unexpected.
No one is arguing that he was displaced
like,
by the vehicle. I think he was displaced, but it's because he leaned forward and put his hand on the hood to do it.
Wait, okay, so
I have time. Nice. Seed vault. Fucking useless. Loading bay.
I think his
Let's go to the
hand,
loading bay.
like if you ever stood on an escalator and you put your hand on something stationary and you get kind of like dragged to the side or whatever. Like
Oh, actually, wait a second.
on the hood of the car.
Nope, no back there this time.
part of the car is what dragged him back into the
I don't know if he got dragged. I think he just got like moved to the side a little bit and then he reached in and started shooting.
he shoots as is. But
Do you think he's being hit by the car while he's shooting in from the side? How long is this Stretch Armstrong's torso?
he gets hit and shoots almost out of it. This is all footage backs this up. I mean, if you look as his and also his leg, if you look at the footage that is here, I can link this. This is slow mo version on Twitter. It's from some guy with a Punisher scale profile picture, but it has like a. This is just like one of the slow mo. But if you look here, his leg is physically in front of the at least his leg. Although this angle itself is a pretty rough angle, but even this one backs up. And then as he shoots, he like spins out to a point that he's like fully leaned forward. I do not at all think it's reasonable to say that his hand on the hood of the car caused him to like rotate almost like half an angle, and then or not half an angle, almost like 45 degrees, and then like stumble to the point that he's fully leaning like 45 degrees forward. They have to handle that escalator. They never do like 2
Hey, how are you?
I don't think the vehicle ever made contact with any part of his body besides his hand. I feel even more comfortable after watching what you just linked.
Watch it. There's a shred around here somewhere.
Oh, hold on, wait. I'm watching it. So 10 seconds. I see him pull the thing out. So it looks like he is moving like 12 to 13 seconds. But like his at 40. Oh yeah, no shot. At 40, so at around 40 videos, no shot. He's completely outside of the car, even being in the line of his body at this point. I think he's got a hand on the windshield, and he makes his first shot in. You can see his foot on the ground. Unless he's like a human
Get in.
I mean, I think if you go, there's a couple frames where he's uncontrollably going to move.
What timestamp?
So I would say 15 seconds was very high. So it's both his
Wait. Why did that happen though? It's because he had his hand on the windshield and the car is moving. Now he's losing his balance because a lot of his balance was on his hand. And then as the car moves away, he loses balance. He's on his hip because he's falling forward, and then he catches himself. Yeah, 100%. Or if you don't believe my analysis there, tell me what part of the video do you think the car is making contact with his hips or his body?
I think the car was kind of his hips and his body, and then as a frame. Like I think it makes contact with the left side of his body at around like 13 seconds. Like a split second before the 5 second shot. It's hard because this was obscured by the guy in the front. So the frame, like where he does get hit, it's screenshot.
Wait. But if you're saying that he got hit at 13 seconds, then your analysis doesn't make sense of him. that at 15 seconds when his legs back, you think that's in response to the car hitting him? Like it hit his body so much that it threw his leg back like that? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Then I know I'll bet you, I don't know, we could do like a friendly $20 on this. You're 100% correct. Because for his leg to have been moved, that's him pulling his leg back because he's using his mouse. If it would have been a hit from the vehicle, one, I don't think the vehicle was moving fast enough for that. Even if it was directed number one, but number two, that would absolutely leave bruising or some kind of mark on his body. Or actually, fuck, I've driven in snow before. You can't even lean on a fucking car like this without your pants or your coat or whatever getting slush and snow. There would have been a mark on his outfit. There would have been a mark on the bumper. There would absolutely be, and then bruising the body for sure. This is him. He's pulling his leg back because he's losing his balance. If you really think that one more time. I now understand what you're saying. At 15 seconds, his leg coming back there, you think is a response to his body getting hit.
I mean, this is like the Helm 9. I think it's
I think it's way more likely that it's also.
Also, if you look at like around frame 16, even the other guy
Well, but you're not talking about that. Hold on. It's so great.
What the fuck?
If he was pushed, wouldn't we expect to see him more on his heels? Backing up like that, as opposed to if his hand was on something driving away and holding his arm, then we would expect him to see his arm. Like if you look at the arm that's closer to the camera, as the man goes away, he's kind of holding on to his toes because he's like losing his balance on the car because it's like moving in front, it's like dragging away, right?
I think he was hit
Well done, guys.
with the side of the vehicle, the car that imports the key. I really feel like this angle is the most damage. It's just so. And yeah, like his hood hand could have been also on the hood, but that doesn't disprove the fact that he was getting hit by it.
I mean, there's New York Times did one where there's like all three footages sync. I don't think that. I don't know if you could say from like the 7 pixels of this guy, but even here, I don't think you're seeing him getting hit by the car. Like his legs are fully back before. Like unless this guy is literally Michael Jackson at like 1 to 2 seconds, like it looks like he's leaning forward on the car.
Thanks.
I think if you pan to 6 to 7, 6 or 7, if you
Got a question for you guys. Have you ever seen a Sentinel cannon in here? Not like a regular one, but a Sentinel one with a Sentinel core?
Look at like 7 seconds. Like he's leaning
Right.
forward. Like he's leaning onto the car.
Yeah, I mean, if you get hit, you're probably not gonna want to lean back and throw on your butt and you ran over with a wheel.
Let's head home at the loading bay metro.
Like, I'm
I
not
think if
arguing
you're
that
I don't know if
wasn't,
anybody
like,
would lean into a car
leaning
that's
as it-
hitting them. I'm just saying that like he's leaning and his hand is on the vehicle. I don't think he's getting hit by it ever.
I mean, just pan through. Like,
I'm panning through. It looks like at like 6 seconds his hand is on the hood, and then he looks like he's pulling out his gun at some point, and then the car is moving forward. He's hit like I'm looking like right when the thing or right around maybe the middle of 7 seconds. Like it looks like his hips and everything are completely out of the way. Like when the car
you
goes
can
by
see
him.
his left foot get like uncontrollably displaced by the front. By the
Where? At what point?
you see his
Everyone on?
his torso. I mean, his foot. It's like I'm not saying that
No, he's just pulling his car. None of this hits him. He just pulls his leg back because he's falling over. His hand is on the hood of the car. You agree at the very least. The hospital analysis agrees with me far more than it does you, correct?
No, I don't contest that. I don't like. I think it's obvious that proves that he didn't get like slammed, like have a broken rib, but it doesn't prove that he didn't get bumped by the car that was accelerating away from it.
Hold on. Okay, let's see if we can agree on this. Can a car cause an adult male's body to move that much without leaving a bruise?
Yeah, I did hear that. I'd say he was
Okay, I
alive,
think we
but
just told, I think we did. I don't think that, or maybe everybody I know and myself bruises easily. I don't think you're getting hit by a car like that and causing your whole body to move, and there's not even a bruise on your body. I'm not saying like a internal bleeding, hemorrhaging to death, but like not even a bruise.
Well, also he's wearing like a bulletproof vest. I think the primary impact hits at his like chest. I mean, there's a lot of other factors that can inhibit this. Like I don't believe that he got like full body like plowed. I think in some ways he was fortunately able to kind of roll with it. It seems like that's obvious with him spinning. But
Do I have an handy for anything?
got hit by the car. I think that's
Chemicals, I guess.
obvious from the video. The car made impact in a way that was uncontrollable to him.
Cell.
And part of like a rotational speed jump. Either that,
Yeah,
or he had
it's
his hand on the front of the car
assuming
and
this
then
is
reactionarily like bumped back.
If this is an ordinary size adult male, what is it, like
Saw
180
that.
pounds plus or whatever? I
He's
don't.
a pretty chunky guy.
There's how much to impart that much force. I don't know. Like in terms of like size of adult men, that's a lot of force that you would need to be able to move somebody like that. Also, again, if somebody linked the same footage, I guess, is a little bit higher quality. I just don't see a convincing part here where it's like, oh, the car definitely made contact with him. It looks more just like he's leaning over on the thing.
Do I
and
need
he's
that?
dragged a
No, I
little bit
don't.
Because his hand is on the hood. I don't see a part where it
This
hit
is
him.
higher quality. Hold on, let me look at this So he goes in here. Somebody's not letting me scrub through it, so it's taking a second. I think it's so like I think it's so painfully obvious that he makes contact with his torso and like slides him. Like I really do believe that.
You can believe it, but the video evidence is murky at best for what you're saying. I would argue the video evidence supports that he just had his hand on the thing more and he was getting dragged like that. But the hospital report absolutely agrees with me. And there is no world where where an adult male body gets moved that much by a car, and there's not even like gunk or snow on his outer coat or whatever, let alone at least a bruise or something.
Do I want to do that?
Wasn't going, like,
Too windy.
fast when it hit him.
It
And
has
also, you
to.
have
No.
keep in
For
mind
your
it's
story
accelerating
to
with
make sense, the car has to be moving quite fast because you're saying that it caused his whole body to swing around. A car moving at 2 miles an hour is not going to hit an adult male's torso and swing it around, right? He didn't even drop his
This
phone.
is empirically verifiable, though. I mean, you can watch like the footage. He's not going like insanely fast, but it's accelerating into him. So it's definitely like, in my opinion, important enough rotational force. Like this gets like, so in the weeds, but even then, if the car was hit him while it was going slower, and then it was accelerating into him, that also would support my narrative more because the initial impact would be lesser.
You good? Do your thing.
More people in here. You got some more friends.
Did somebody just join?
Hey guys, how are you?
Who is that?
It's Chris.
Oh, what's up, Chris? Sorry, I'm getting water right now.
I'm good, man.
Does that make sense? I don't know if that's weird.
No, you're just. This,
You wanna
it
play,
can't-
bro,
it
or
can't
what?
possibly be
Yeah, I can do, but I'm after
that
two
it
specific
causes his
items
body
though.
to rotate.
So if you can help me out with that, then I'm happy to play. Otherwise, I'm better off
And
just...
what are you after, my friend?
I'm after one is a sentinel core from a turret, and the other one is a rocketeer drive. I need these two things to like finish
That's
off
easy,
my...
bro.
Yeah?
It doesn't matter if he's on ice or pavement or anything. He can
I got
Yeah,
the
that's easy. Look at the sentinel core.
I got the Wolfpack grenade the other day. I got the blueprint for it, so I just need my explosive bench level 3 and I can build it. So
Yeah, see, okay, that's what she, yeah, that's awesome. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. Okay.
If you look here,
just give me a minute.
change that he experienced.
Yeah, cavity's a minute too.
His
So you're
bound
good,
shift
dude.
Yeah, I was in sorting out my inventory. I have way too much crap now.
spins likely be
I bet.
The good news is I'm getting good. I'm well over 1 million credits now. So I guess next up 2 and then 5 and then we
I don't
can
think any of them are on
finish
ice.
this
I
thing
don't
up.
think they're spinning because they're on ice. I think they're spinning because their hand is on a vehicle that starts to drive away, and that causes them to spin.
The guy on the right, I think, is provably on ice. If you watch from footage 14 and 16, his left foot loses traction in a way that would not happen on pavement.
Hold on.
So the one I said with the Punisher skull, like shout out to Ezra and this guy. That footage from 14 to 16, it's obvious they're on ice as proven by his partner sliding, and when his left foot loses traction. That just doesn't happen on pavement that way.
Oh, we lost someone.
Unless
That's
he's wearing,
weird.
like, slippers.
You know what?
It could just be wet. I don't think this has to be ice. Like, the guy's hand is on a moving vehicle.
Is the other guy gone?
People
What happened?
slip and slide and fall on dry pavement. Like, that happens. But, like, if anything,
Have
it
you
looks
ever, like, had your foot fully swept out from under you on like wet pavement, or maybe wet pavement? It doesn't seem to be raining here. But even if it's wet, that still supports my narrative because it proves that he's in a lower friction environment, allowing him to have that pivot from a lower impact force.
like the officer in the back that you're telling me to look at, like his body movements and everything are wacky as well. You don't think the officer in the back got hit, right?
No, well, I mean, he'd probably get dragged by having his hand through the window, but that's very different than the impact facing the first officer. But once again, like obviously.
Actually, you know what? Let's have a look here.
In the windshield, but the first
What can I use these things for?
Like, I don't think the second officer would have had just
This,
use.
which I need a lot of.
Yeah, I don't know. I just have
God, I have a lot of these things. Right. Okay.
You've seen all of like the DHS handbook and everything else, where like an officer is never supposed to be in front of a vehicle, right?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of evidence that shows that this was not a correct way to behave as law enforcement. Like, and not legally, but in terms of like tactics. Like, this is not a recommended tactic, I believe.
Okay, but then if he's standing outside of like department protocol, that's gonna count against him even more when it comes to justifiable shoot here. No.
No. There's no like prohibition.
Okay,
like,
leave that.
standing in front of a vehicle if you are. He's not like disobeying his like, police orders and then creating.
Okay,
situation.
straight.
He's allowed to.
Still, I'm on this again, I guess.
Have the vehicle reverse and then drive into it, clip him, and then react in self-defense. Or I guess not even clipping him. It rotates him pretty substantially. But I mean, it was a like I'd say the left half of his torso fully made collision.
Okay. And you're comfortable with that analysis, even if there's no hospital evidence, no bruising, nothing will ever be published that would support that narrative?
Yeah, I see a couple of reasons why I'm comfortable with that. He's wearing very padded clothing. He's a, I guess, heavier set guy. I don't know how to like specifically, but that would definitely decrease the odds of like a broken rib. Although I may believe that bigger people bruise easier. I don't know.
Well, it would have to be a bigger person
but
would have to bruise a bit easier because it would take even more force to move them that much, right? Like if it was a kid,
yeah,
a kid could easily be spun without much force, but the larger the person, the more force.
Where are we?
To spin them.
Ah, nice. Well,
if
20 minutes in.
Standing on ice and you're like right foot's on ice, it's really not difficult for me to spin you by pushing on like a half of your body because your foot is on ice, so pivoting is really easy because you're in a reduced like friction area. It's kind of like how if you're on like a like if you're wearing socks in your house, like you can easily kind of do like a circular spin by just like turning in a way that you couldn't if you were like standing on pavement.
Sure, but I can make that same argument then in saying that if your hand is on the hood, you can be spun around as well just as easily.
Yeah, but the footage reflects that he got hit. I think.
Okay.
I mean, you can argue. You can argue that he could have just like
leave it up
gripped the
there.
hood and like rotated himself, but that seems wildly inaccurate, not reflected by the footage.
Well, you say that, but I think the only footage that you had that even kind of sort of made your argument was the really low grainy one, the super low resolution one. But even at that, again, unless he was literally Michael Jackson, you know, boots on the ground doing a crazy lean, it looked like he was just, his hand was on the hood of the car.
I think that the second one, I think you can very clearly like, see a frame wherein his like the front left half of his torso at frame 3. I think you, even though it's grainy, like the higher fidelity version of U-Link helps a lot. But you can see his torso fully hit by the car and then react in a way that is not. Well, actually, hold on, the hand thing doesn't even make sense here because his hand is outstretched in front of him. Like there's no like he doesn't move after the car moves away with his hand dragging.
Wait. Which video are we talking about?
Okay, the video you sent me, the better quality version of the roof footage. That
Okay.
one.
Wait. Hold on.
Was, like,
Was that the last one I sent? Yes.
yeah, this also doesn't work for the hand argument because if his hand is placed on the front of the vehicle, and the force would not be
Cheddar Bob.
by his hand like getting dragged because he makes the movement before the vehicle has moved away.
Wait. I need to find the one. Wait. Which one was the one I sent you? Hold on. What?
It's the last one that is like the section 21 size. It's
Oh,
not-
I
it's
see.
not
Okay. Okay, you're saying this doesn't support the hand thing? For what reason?
I mean, if you look at it just like visually, the argument of like just hand dragging is what turns it. The physical movement of being dragged would be like a way later instance. Because if you have your hand outstretched, and then someone like you would crumple more than you would like your hand would crumple more than you would strong arm your hand and allow your hand to turn your entire body. Because that's a very like obviously it's a risky motion because there's a car accelerating. He seems startled by going, oh. So I think it's really unlikely that he induced a turn, and almost physically impossible that he induced a turn with his arm being that like hard locked out forward.
Well, yeah, he's pivoting.
What the fuck?
His hand is on the hood. Like all of this, I think.
The argument is not that the movement occurred from his hand. The argument is the hand was on the car and then he pivoted by like himself.
No, there's like a combination of both. Like his hand is on the hood, the car starts to go forward, and then he's moving. So he's both. The car is moving him, and he's kind of moving at the same time. His hand is coming forward, and he's shooting his shots. Yeah, that's way more obvious than he got hit somehow, was able to hold onto his phone almost the entire time, shot 3 times, 2 of them from the side.
So what do you think is happening in frames 3 to 4, wherein he's rotating, matched exactly with the speed of the vehicle as it's proceeding? Do you believe that he has like perfectly mirrored the vehicle's speed as he's rotating by his own action? Like,
Wait, from 3 to 4 seconds? Hold on.
yeah.
Wait, does he even actually move? Or does he just turn to the side as the car's passing? Hold on. I don't even know if he's...
I don't know why, but everyone always ignores these. All the time. Sometimes
I
you
just
get
feel like his
lucky.
hand is on the hood, and he's just kind of like turning to the side and then shooting at him. He kind of loses balance a little bit because as the car is moving and his hand is on the hood, it's kind of like weird, but I don't think he's getting... I don't think the car is smashing into his body and causing him to rotate at all. Like, he seems like pretty in control the whole time. He feels comfortable getting those other 2 shots off.
Okay,
as soon as
that's
he's, like,
it.
past him.
Is it not suspicious to you though that exactly as the car, like regardless of him
How you
being
doing?
because the argument is that he would have been like depth-wise in a way that we cannot see position behind the vehicle, right? So is your argument that he pivoted exactly as the like, physical image of the car?
Well, I don't know if it's
happened
exactly
to-
as. I feel like his leg is moving. If I look at this video that I sent, like it looks like he's moving his leg at around 3 to 4 seconds, and then the car passes him by. Like at what time
his torso is fully stationary until the he would have combination of events seems so much less likely than the fact that the car moved to visually connecting with him and actually just connecting all the way to the see visual. His hand is really No, he definitely braces. Like he definitely braces for impact by like placing his hand when it's hitting. But like if you think about it just logically, if the car is I think that as the car is coming, he probably kind of like how when you try to catch yourself while falling or break your wrist. Like, I think he probably puts his hand in front of the car.
Well, intuitively, I think most people would just keep walking and not stand in front of the car.
Either way, I think he probably puts his hand on. I think it's visually really likely that his left hand touches the car before it hits the right. I try not to listen to too many island statements. What is the narrative? I'll watch some clips about it. But I find it better idea. I think that's
statements about how the car was trapped in ice and already
but I'd have to read
it. It's not that it's inaccurate.
Yo!
Yeah, if she's lying publicly, then that's definitely a bad thing. And I'd say that firing may be an extreme measure unless it's a long pattern of behavior. But, I'd have to see all of the evidence. But if it's a fully factually incorrect statement, then obviously I think that anyone she should issue a correction.
If it was a
Okay, the trash can's out. Careful.
Lie, do you think that she should step down for that? Not just an inaccurate statement, but she completely lied.
Well, we can't speak for her.
You can't. You don't know. Wait. I just want you. I like to hear these statements because they're so ridiculous. You're telling me that it's impossible for us to determine if somebody's lied. We can never know that. People are just wrong or right. We have no idea if somebody's lying or not.
Not impossible. You can definitely determine someone's lying, but I don't know like what her briefing was. I don't know who said what. Like she could have been fed false information. She could have like made a misstep. It would take a lot more to make a character assessment of the employee. But I could definitely say that if she has a pattern of behavior, we have proof that she's lying, like there's messages that leaks and stuff like I don't care about what's true, then obviously that's a really bad look for any official. Yeah.
Okay, give me like 5 minutes. Let me find this video. Hold on. I gotta look at that 1 second.
You asked to.
Okay, here we go. 1 sec. We can start this at the same time. Let me know when you're ready. It should be minute 23, and then we'll start at the same time. Okay?
At home at the loading bay metro.
1 minute 23.
Let me know when you're ready.
You only said that.
Or what
An
started?
arc orbiter is en route.
Ready? Set.
Safe window is closing.
You asked about a shooting that we just had in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It was an act of domestic terrorism. What happened, it was our ICE officers were out in enforcement action. They got stuck in the snow because of the adverse weather that is in Minneapolis. They were attempting to push out their vehicle, and a woman attacked them and those surrounding them and attempted to run them over and ram them with her vehicle. An officer of ours acted quickly and defensively shot to protect himself and the people around him. And my understanding is that she was.
Well, I'm pausing quick.
Okay.
She said that they tried to ram the vehicle.
Well, she said that the ICE people were stuck in the snow. They were attempting to push out their vehicle, and that this woman attacked them, rammed them. Right? These statements are probably resigned worthy, no?
Ram them with her vehicle. So I want to make sure we see the full clip. Sorry.
Okay. Are you listening to something again, or did you push play again?
I pushed play. Answer.
Okay. What? Oh, okay. I'll listen.
Continuing to
Now she's just
gather
talking about
more
how we
information
is there anything
about
past the
this
point where she says
scope
that any can happen?
to show the assaults that our ICE officers or law enforcement are under every single domestic acts of terrorism. We're working with the Department of Justice to
vehicle
prosecute
ramming.
them as such. We will continue to protect our ICE officers and in cooperation with other law enforcement agencies as well. You've seen me in the last couple.
Okay. She should probably be
Or
fired for these comments, right?
I wouldn't say fire, but it definitely is troubling. I mean, if it's a false statement.
I don't
so
know what
the-
you
the
mean when
area
you
where
say
like,
it's
fire-
troubling. If do you have an animal?
Yes.
Okay, if I were to come and fuck your animal, would you say that's troubling, that's bad, it's not good? Or would you have like some consequence or accountability for me? I don't know. When you keep saying like, well, that's troubling, that's bad, I don't know what that means. I don't know how to interpret that.
Obviously, and I know it's like a harsh analogy. That's way different. So I could say like consequences. Like this comes down to me not understanding the internal system of how. And I'd say that I don't know everything about like what information you have on this, but I think that neither of us are capable of knowing how she got her information, where she got her information from, or.
So
like,
she has. So then this is a mouthpiece position that has absolutely no accountability, no responsibility. The buck stops with nobody.
Okay, the vast majority of like these like public-facing cabinet positions, a lot of it is just delegating tasks and then being like a administrative like I guess how do I put it? Like a voice for the
That's just
administration.
fault. Gotta
I'd say
start
that
selling
whoever
more
made
shit.
Whoever like propagated the false claim, I really doubt that Christy Nome was sitting in the room, got the call saying like this is what happened, and she said, "All right, man, like fuck this shit. I'm gonna go up here and just like start totally just lying out of my ass." I'd say that she probably was fed false information. Because first off, that just seems like a bad maneuver, like a poor situation. Because like I mean, it would have been just more like someone was in the car, they fired back. But
Do I need that
I'd
for
say
anything?
definitely-
No.
the
What's it
fact
recycle
that,
down to? Nothing.
the
Right.
misinformation
So
traveled up the chain and got out in this way. Is that
batteries. Don't need them for anything.
Okay, so then somebody should be fired, or
No.
somebody should be reprimanded.
So
Firing is a really strong term, but I think somebody who's liable for the misinformation being like passed to the chain probably should have some level of reprimandation. Yeah. But like it's more so just I'd have to be acquainted with the system. Like I can't make a value call on her. I can't make a value call on like any specific person. But I can say anywhere
What
where
does it do?
false information is being propagated.
what's that? Huh?
There needs to be some measure taken to like resolve it. Obviously.
okay.
I've got a
But
motor.
I think a corrective statement
Ooh.
would be nice.
Right
I
there,
guess at this
nice.
point, everyone already knows, like the factual statement. But vehicle being stuck in ice, like, I don't believe that's. I
You're
think
hurt.
that's
What's
false.
this?
I think hit them is deceptive. But I guess if we go into like the individual lies, the domestic terrorism thing, like that's
Right,
I
you're
guess like
hurt.
a harsher way to put it. But I mean, that's I definitely wouldn't call that a lie. Just like a difference in opinion over like how you classify it.
Well, to be clear, no, that's a total fucking lie as well, right? There's no evidence that this lady is a part of some terrorist group or is a part of some, or was even intentionally trying to kill anybody or whatever. We have no clue, because domestic terrorism is a statement of intentionality now, for sure, regardless of whether or not the shoot was fair or not, right? All of those things are lies.
I guess you're right. Terrorism is a question of intentionality. But you could argue if someone's there to disturb, obviously then they have like a motive against the organization, then they commit like an act of deadly force. This is all like very semantic. I probably wouldn't make this statement personally, but I would definitely argue that it's not like, this to me is not a lie. I wouldn't argue it's a lie. I'd argue you don't have to be in an organization to be a terrorist. You don't have to be, I guess like
Would you say,
points
is it okay to
towards
call like all the
malice.
Gen 6 people, could I call them domestic terrorists? Would that be a fair statement?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough about like J6. Like I don't know about like who did what. To be fully honest,
Bunch of people
Jason's scenario that I
broke
have
into the
not-
Capitol. There was a riot. Why can't I call them domestic terrorists, right? They were trying to impede a government process. They managed to delay the certification of the vote.
Jason people. It was. Well, I mean, they didn't kill anybody. It's a big difference.
The only person who killed somebody here was an ICE agent. So the
Yeah, I
only
was about to
person
say,
who
like,
was
what-
impeded by that
what's your
qualification
point?
would be the ICE agent. So, again,
Well, they
the
argue,
so
the argument is that the Renee was trying to kill someone.
trying to means nobody got killed, right? So
Yeah, but intention, like, it doesn't matter if you succeed to be a terrorist. Like, I can try and like blow up your house, but I'm still like a terrorist. It's not,
What do I
but
need
it-
exactly? Survival items?
okay, so there was no killing, right? We could argue that on January 6th they might have killed congressmen if they would have gotten their hands on them. We don't know that. But we have,
Visions.
If the intention is verified on that, then they're definitely terrorists. Yeah, if they're trying to kill.
you need to
congressmen,
verify an intention to call somebody. What about when they were all outside screaming "Hang Mike Pence"?
I mean,
Oh.
but that logic, that you don't know, whether the individuals in the Capitol were the ones screaming it. Definitely bad rhetoric, but those are different.
We're getting close with this.
Like
We're
really
almost
messy
through.
rhetoric. You can't. I don't think you can conflate like really bad rhetoric to like being like a terrorist. But
Do I
either
want to
way,
do cold snap
I
for
would
there?
personally not
Do I
be
really want to do
against
it?
terrorists,
No,
but
I
don't
don't.
see why. Like that's what I'm saying.
Damn battlegrounds.
But I think it's a kind of.
Screw
Do you
it.
agree that
Cool.
Fauci didn't lie or make any bad statements or whatever when he was the NIH head under Trump?
This is like
Right.
I guess this is one area like I know like for a lot of older like MAGA people this is like a big area to like kind of catch them up, but for me I'm far more like ideological and I'm younger to the point that I'm not I haven't been as like unbelievably active in the news cycle for like events prior to I guess like prior to like the last like 2 years or so. I haven't really had like my knowledge base there is too. Like I don't know, but I know that I've heard people keep those like before. So I would be going on to I'm far more ideological than I am like capable of arguing every single like you can cherry pick. We could go back. Someone older could argue with me about like I guess how to put like specific Obama administration stuff. But obviously, I would not be acquainted with that. The same way that you might not remember like or you wouldn't be able to argue like areas of like Nixon's presidency.
Okay.
I'm like I just turned 19 yesterday.
Right, please be somewhere nearby.
Because all of the events.
Where am I? Okay, not too far.
Let's go to research and administration.
Well, far, but not too far.
Tianwen here.
But yeah, I guess I would say
You're
that
looking for a
part's
first wave
definitely.
battleground.
But the
There might
big
be
lie
jungle around,
is
but look for anything that stands out.
we weren't stuck in a snow. I don't believe that's true.
Well, they weren't.
18 minutes in, are you kidding me? Come on.
Her being part of a domestic terrorist thing. Trump's truths out that she was part of a domestic terrorist organization or whatever. Like all of these statements were lies. Noam Christie's or Christina must continue to make statements about this. I think she just had a Jake Tapper interview. I haven't watched it yet, but it's 10 minutes from yesterday apparently, where she continues to defend that position. But apparently, according to you, nobody in the administration has any responsibility or accountability for any of the statements they make ever beyond maybe correcting them at some point, which she won't. She'll never correct the statement ever.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's a precedent that's been set that's bad. I think like corrective statements is not something that makes you look weaker, but I think it is important to correct things that are incorrect. But
yeah, but you have this
to
position. This is the most
How you doing, boss?
like feckless position ever that you have to correct statements that are incorrect, but they're not incorrect statements. It's just a lie. It's just a lie.
How are you?
I do not believe that you're adequately equipped to say that. I don't think you have.
If she continued, well, I know the administration has a history of lying about basically everything they can. This lie feeds right into their ideological narrative that all of these people are funded protesters and all this other bullshit. I mean, like, it's very obvious. Like I said, like, I can't prove it, obviously, and you'll never admit it, but, like, if the shoe was on the other foot, you would be very keen and very quick to admit or say that it was a Democratic administration. They're lying about this, they're lying about it, lying about that. But now I'm getting the insane take that cabinet level people have no responsibility for the statements they make, save to just correct statements that are incorrect. Are you familiar with, like, the Rittenhouse shooting?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
You know that, like, all of that, everything that came from Rittenhouse.
Yeah, I'm
all of
good.
that
I'm just
also
looking
stemmed
for a
off
what's
of
it called
bullshit
now?
video that some guy
A
was
Sentinel
filming,
core for
some
my
guy getting into a
workbench.
car that got shot by officers, and people made it sound like it was like an innocent black guy that was getting harassed by
So
police.
I need to find a
When more
turret.
information came out about the guy, one, the guy isn't even dead, and then two, the guy was
And
like
apparently
about
there are a
someone was
couple on
killed
this
in the area,
level,
like,
so
it's
that's
like
what I'm
something,
doing.
and he had a knife in the car. It was like a really bad. But all of the protests,
If you really want to,
that came out of that,
sure.
that eventually culminated in the Rittenhouse shootings. Also came from a bullshit analysis of a partial video.
You're pretty what,
Which
sorry?
seems a little bit insane to me that we could come out.
If you're
and
pretty
speak
new
this
to it,
way.
oh,
It's
okay.
fucking crazy. Every single time this administration
all right.
speaks, do you admit that this administration, when they speak,
You
their goal is
can
always to divide
choose to
and
do
demonize,
team
but
plays
there's
where you'll
never
have a
been
few people there with you on your
cabinet
team,
level
and that'll
or
make it
presidential
easier
level
for you.
statement to try to like get people to calm the fuck down. It's always been to castigate and attack and villainize the other side.
Yeah, that's how it works. It's yeah, if you go in teams, people go for you. That's the name of the game.
Motive assigning statements can be really difficult. I think in politics people have an interest and there is no interest. Typically materialize at a really high level. But I'm far more concerned with ideologically individual.
What was in? Can you tell me what was in Biden's own interest when he condemned the attempted assassination of Donald Trump and was assigning him additional Secret Service personnel? What was in Biden's own interest for that?
So much.
Damn it! I was hoping to be a turret here. There's usually one right here.
Then why is it that when Trump? Why is it that when Trump?
Has it been destroyed?
If Gavin Newsom was assassinated, would it not be?
Yeah, it's been hit already. Okay.
But he doesn't. Trump literally removed additional Secret Service personnel from Democrats as soon as he came into office.
Wait, okay, so is your argument that Joe Biden was, I guess,
okay.
high-profile assassination attempts in recent years because Joe Biden was like just a moral person acting in the
Yes,
opposite of
yeah.
something?
My argument was that Joe Biden is a moral good man, and Donald Trump and all of the people.
I might
around
just
him are
jump out.
evil, demonic
I might just
fucks.
jump out,
And it's,
truth
like,
be
super
told.
obvious.
I'm too
You
late in.
remove, like,
We're
the
like
political partisan
15
blinders.
minutes
It's, like,
into a
very,
half
very
an hour
obvious
game.
from
So all the stuff I
Josh
need's
Patel
already
making
been
statements
taken.
about
So
the
I'm
Tyler
thinking
Robinson
just
guy
jump
without
out
any
and come back in
information about
again.
it. The guy
That's
might-
what I'm gonna do.
He might beat his trial because this guy was so stupid in terms of tweeting out stuff about this ongoing shooting event. Like 2 hours later, saying they'd caught the suspect and everything else. And there's a reason why his lawyer.
Yeah, watch
and
out for a leap
related.
around
Like,
here.
Yeah, this is incredibly irresponsible. It's politically
Yeah, they're
divisive
like-
for the goal of being politically divisive, and it's bad. It's evil shit. Like better men, better people wouldn't do this. Like good people wouldn't do this stuff. It's all like a partisan.
Yeah, it's a
game
big ass
for
crawler
people.
that jumps.
But that's like so painfully. I can't even believe I have to say this. It's like so obviously true. Like we can find Trump's truth about this. He doesn't even need to make a statement. It's the president of the United States.
Yeah,
Why is he tweeting out or truthing out that she's a domestic terrorist or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you went on the rabbit hole of like administration.
Yeah, there it is. I see it.
Why are you saying rabbit hole? Like there's so much confusion, and you're just so incapable of evaluating critically any statement made by somebody who's part of the administration. How's it a rabbit hole?
I can absolutely critically evaluate the statement. I can critically say that being incorrect is bad. It is bad. that it's
Okay, well.
said. But I'm not going to make like a judgment call on the entirety. Like,
Stay back a sec.
extrapolating agencies having
Then
statements
fucking run.
into like a moral call over the character of the entirety of the administration being seeking occupation, takeover. To me, this is such a wild escalation in mentality.
But it's not because the
stuff
stuff.
is actually untrue.
Yeah, I wouldn't get too close to that, bro, in case Felipe shows up.
The factuality of the statement, like the type of fact we're talking about, probably matters, right? So, like, if she were to say that this shooting happened in Chicago and got the place wrong, then that's not a big deal. Or that the car was a different type and got that wrong, that's not a big deal. Or that the cop heard 1 shot instead of 3 or 4 shots, or maybe not a big deal. But when the lies, it's not like she just has random facts wrong. It's every single fact agrees with the pre-selected narrative that this administration has been trying to shove down everybody's throats for a year. That's not just wrong information. There's a very clear
Going down, get on or
push
no.
for where every single statement is coming from, right? How many years have we heard all of the MAGA people say that there's like this
Mushrooms?
coordinated paid
Oh, that's a
to get protesters paid by Soros and girls to come and be professional. I think Trump might even call this lady professional agitator. I'll have to go find his truth on it, or if somebody in chat can link it.
Do you not believe there's any paid protesters at all?
I've heard this claim for a decade, and I've seen zero proof of it ever. And I've seen proof of it happening.
I mean, I've seen clips of people like, this is like a topic where I guess I'm not, my knowledge base is definitely significantly lower than you here, but have you not seen the footage of people interviewing people who are like paid protesters
proof.
or
I need proof.
The same,
I don't try.
the same
I don't.
people who provably
No.
agreed
No.
they're, like,
No.
administrative
No.
doing it? Like, you don't
No,
think so?
no, I don't think a James O'Keefe Project Veritas slop clip of 12 seconds or some highly edited 10-minute video or if you're talking about the thing that was Sora AI that even Trump was retweeting the other day.
So the standard.
Wait,
the standard for
are
proving
you
paid
talking about
protest-
are you talking about the video recently where the guy said he like didn't have a job? And he was out there.
No, I'm not speaking any specific clip. I've seen multiple clips that all point in that direction. But even then, to me, that's like I guess I don't know, like obviously people are demonstrating for protest. But I think there's some examples where protests are exacerbated. Like you can go to assigning a motive. Is it a logical leap to say that for certain topics where people may not be that riled up, it is advantageous to manufacture a protest that will make it seem optically as though people are outraged, or maybe make it seem like people who are already outraged in some way should get involved more?
Yeah,
Like,
you're describing the
not
entire
make the argument
Republican
that-
Party right now. That's what they do when they get everybody riled up about trans people or everybody riled up about Haitians or Somalis.
but
Like that's what just happened in
parties make the
Minnesota, right,
same-
with the Nick Shirley video. No, it's not both parties. I wish the left did this more at this point, but no. All of the largest protests, like 8 of the 10 last largest protests in the country, have happened under Donald Trump because of the shit that he says and because of the violence that he incites. Nobody forced Trump to send the National Guard to the states without their authority or consent, right?
So the blanket statement is denying, like, I guess all of the nuance. Like, there's many scenarios wherein, do you agree that there's any scenarios wherein the left has spread misinformation to make their...
God damn it, I'm miles away.
Deliberately placed...
Oh, at least I'm time in.
Divisive rhetoric that is designed to rile people up more than they reasonably should be.
Name one example.
Like, I think a good example is the attempting to make abortion a campaign issue of Kamala Harris.
You don't think women have strong feelings about abortion? You think that's a false...
Yeah, that's a wild thing to say there, man.
Can try to get a law passed to make it so that abortion is a protected thing in all 50 states?
That wouldn't be an act of president.
No, but the president can push for their Congress to do something. What do you mean? The president can cheerlead legislation from Congress?
Hang on, is that a...
That would
It
be
is.
like, I think making
Hold on,
that a
wait,
big
I need you. Hold on, wait,
presidential
before I
issue-
move on. The president of the United States runs on a policy platform, right?
Yes.
And that
Yeah.
policy platform, now I understand you're younger, maybe the young generation doesn't know this, but typically Congress does that. Now I know that right now we have a dictator who thinks he can do everything just from the White House, but traditionally presidents run on policy platforms that require support from the Congress. When Trump ran on repeal and replace the ACA, in
You know what? I think I can
2016,
take
that had to be done by Congress. And when
whatchamacallit,
Trump runs on tax cuts,
the Rocketeer.
that has to be done by Congress. So typically, yeah, presidents will run.
wanna get
on
up there and
platforms
see if I can
that
take it
Congress
out.
has to enact, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess obviously
okay.
should aid the issue, but that being the primary campaign promise, it's a very unlikely to resolve the problem. And even then, or I would say it's not the problem. I think states' rights is the ideal situation for it. That's like a
Well, hold on, but that's yeah, but some people would say that the right
Yeah,
for
exactly.
a mother to have an
by
abortion.
their
Yeah.
definition, it's a problem. By mine, it's not.
Sure.
But either way, that's the scenario. But
Also,
I
when you
think
say
it's
states'
obvious
rights,
that
I just want to check real quick. When you say states' rights, do you agree that state police force should
There
have
it is.
authorization to shoot and kill any National Guard people deployed by the federal government against the consent of the governor of that state?
no.
So the states.
Right, this is
don't
gonna
have
end one of
rights then. I
two
don't know where
ways.
you get the states' rights thing in your mind.
More
but
than likely me
you
being
acknowledge
killed.
The Second Amendment was literally created. Hold on, wait. I just want to be clear.
There it is.
Constitutional Convention. The Second Amendment, right? That whole militia part that everybody likes to know. The whole reason why the Second Amendment exists was for states to protect their own interests from an over-encroaching federal police force or federal military to come in and overthrow like a state government, right? So
Instead of revolution,
what do you call it when the National Guard is deployed against the governor's wishes? When the National Guard is deployed against the governor's wishes by the President of the United States, how is that not just the government sending the army to your state to enforce whatever they want? Is that not a states' rights issue?
I mean, federal overrules states when it is federal policy.
It's above my
So,
head.
Like if Kamala Harris would have gotten the Congress to pass a law saying abortion is now protected right in all 50 states, then the federal law there would supersede all of the state laws then, right?
I believe that is the actual nature of like.
The hell is going on?
Well, I don't know. You were just arguing against it, saying this should be a states' rights issue. But now, since you agree that
No, it should. Hold on. Should be versus can be. These are very different arguments. They can deploy the federal. They can deploy federal forces to states, overruling state forces.
well, to be clear, they couldn't do that.
The
That was
argument
illegal. That was
should is
illegal.
way
That
more-
was an illegal
Where is it?
deployment, right? And I think
Where are you?
now the National Guard is
There you are.
from those states, from the president forcing the deployment. You need the consent of the governor to do this, and we know this because during the BLM riots, Trump was complaining about governors not allowing him to send the National Guard there. So he knows that. We know that. That was an illegal deployment, and I think it's been basically
These
adjudicated as
stairs, man. What
such.
the hell is going on with these
Except for in,
stairs?
except for in D.C., where the federal government is obviously that's their territory.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's. So I think the federal does supersede the state. I guess I'd have to look at individual clauses, see how it resolved, but that's my understanding of the national system. In terms of like the armed forces
It's like a fucking.
Well, no,
it's like I hit a
your
wall. It's not a
federal
wall. It's a
policing can do
step.
it, federal
Get up
policing, but
there.
You can't forcibly deploy a National Guard to the state without the governor's consent. You need the governor's consent to do that, unless the state is in rebellion or something.
I mean, yeah, maybe so. Well, I mean, arguably, it's that's a big one. But I don't know. For me,
Come on.
like, this is not my area.
Come on, show up. Where are you?
Individual deployments of the National Guard. My main topics are ideological. I think the ideological basis of the right is far more beneficial than the
How can you have
Right,
an
you're there.
ideological basis if you don't know any of
You're on the
the
roof.
process or procedure? The ideology is empty and hollow at that point.
How is that true? I guess how is that?
You flying
like,
off already?
Well, it's like me saying that like I have like the best approach to like using firearms or guns, or I think I'm like, the best tactician ever. But I've never actually shot a gun before. Like, if you want to know, right? Like.
Wait, hold on a second. No, this is an ideological thing I'm making the argument. I'm making the argument that generally by this is obviously opening up a way different debate than I originally got on. So it's like
Well, yeah, but I think it kind of like infects everything because it seems like we've got, because this ideology thing is allowing you to assign an unbelievable amount of responsibility to Democrats or attack them for things like Kamala Harris running on abortion because technically the president of the United States can't pass laws, but then it seems to release like everybody from your side from any amount of responsibility whatsoever. When you have the president of the United States, his secretary of the Department of Homeland Security and everything making these like demonstrably false statements over and over and over again, like Donald Trump truthing out. I have just viewed the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It is a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator. He has no proof of that. He should be impeached for it, and everything should happen. I can't say on YouTube. And the woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer, who seems to have shot her in self-defense. Based on the attached clip, it is hard to believe he is alive, but is now recovering in the hospital. The situation is being studied in its entirety, but the reason these incidents are happening is because the radical left is threatening, assaulting, and targeting our law enforcement officers and ICE agents on a daily basis. They are trying to do the job, blah, blah, blah. Right? All of this statement is a fucking lie. Nobody told him this. He just said he watched the video and he saw this. What the fuck was he watching?
Well, I guess I'd say, listen, as far as Trump goes, Trump says regularly inflammatory things that may be...
Not inflammatory lies. These are wrong things. Why do you do that? If I fuck your dog in the ass, is that an inflammatory thing that you would say is, like, bad?
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
That's all you would say?
Oh, well, wait. No, obviously say it's reprimandable. But that's
That's what you would say, it's reprimandable? You would watch me fucking your dog, your squealing dog, who's crying and screeching in front of you, and you'd be like, that's pretty bad, but I don't know his intention.
It's a very vivid analogy.
Because this is very vivid right now. The president of your country is telling demonstrably false lies, trying to stoke civil war in the fucking country, and you're like, well, I think this might be bad, I don't know.
Lies are a problem.
Why is there a problem?
There's many things Trump does.
Did he just say that?
Statements he said that I see as false, but I'm not necessarily a mouthpiece for Trump as much as I just am an ideological conservative. That's my main focus. And so obviously Trump is more representative of my ideology in terms of impact.
What part of your what is the one strongest part of your ideology you feel like he represents?
That Trump represents? I mean, I just like think that well, I guess my big issue, this is like such a ambient debate now, but my big issue is okay, so generally conservative. Like I'm a general conservative on most issues. Like I think it's important to maintain like a historical. I'm trying to pick an avenue to go. I swear I have to do it. But well, I guess like what part of my ideology does Trump represent best, or like what parts does he represent? Because he's not fully representative of me at all. I think there's a lot of areas where he disagrees with me. I think it's just it comes down to like the lesser of two evils. But
who do you think would have been a bigger sock puppet for Netanyahu? Kamala Harris.
Hey, watch out! There's a Rocketeer above us.
Who got more money from? Okay, so he got way more money from huge Jewish donors. Okay, he got way more allegiance to fucking Israel. He's willing to run the whole Middle East exactly what Netanyahu wants. Okay, so what part of your? I'm just trying to figure out what part of your ideology here is like, oh well, at least Trump represents us the best.
Well, I think he does in general prioritize. So this comes down to. And this is actually what I liked Biden more so, but I think that trying to focus on national, economic issue for the middle class is really important to me specifically.
Okay, so he's like nuking different parts of our economy. The dollar has lost 10 to 20% of its value overseas. We're fighting trade wars apparently with every single country on the fucking planet now. We are starting wars in multiple places. How is any of this supposed to be helping our economy?
Well, I'm disappointed the way the tariffs have played out in some ways, but I think I
disappointed
voting in. I was interested in that. I mean, I think any solution.
Bro, if you're gonna run, now's the time. Run.
Erosion of the middle class is important to seek out.
Okay, and are we getting a middle class back with our? Sure. Are we getting? Do you think the huge tax cuts? Do you think that helped the middle class more, or did it further the divide between the wealthy and the poor of this country?
I think it probably was negative. I don't believe in trickle down.
Fun times.
I don't follow that.
Okay, do you think that the deregulating of all like the whole crypto finance, all that stuff, is that helping the middle class?
I honestly would have to look more into that.
Do you think that like supporting H-1B visas for infinite Indians to come in and steal all white people's jobs, do you think that's helping the middle class?
No, definitely not. Yeah, I definitely.
Okay, so
think
what?
he's,
So Donald Trump said
actively
20 to
doing
30
something.
million illegals came in, and he's I think gotten anywhere from 500,000 to 2 million deported in the first year, which is probably gonna be the most aggressive year. Is that like what? Like I don't understand how what part of
The illegal thing absolutely, I believe, helps the American people in every way.
yeah, but if 30 million came in according to him, that was the last number he cited.
That's the big. That's yeah, I don't know why I was bothering there. That's the
Yes!
big not like a. Not the economic.
Now,
thing. I don't know.
Okay, so he
explosive
said 30
compound. Where
million
the
came
hell do
in,
I
and
find
their
that?
numbers, the favorable numbers are 2 million are gone.
Industrial. Do I make it? Can I
So
make
that's
it as well?
28 million additional ones that are in the country. So hasn't he completely?
Oh,
epically
god damn, I
and
can
totally
make
failed
it.
there?
Oh, I need
28 million,
oil.
30 million illegal immigrants came in.
Under Biden.
That's what
he
I
said,
need
yes.
oil for.
Yeah, and
Gotcha.
then 2 mil- Oh no, the deportation totals are definitely not sufficient.
They're
there's
less than
no way I'm gonna
Obama's,
argue that there's
right?
enough- Huh?
They were less than Obama's. Obama
Yeah,
was a better
Obama
deporter.
wasn't being actively impeded by the government, trying to like stop him from even being able to exercise deportations.
Do you think
Like,
maybe?
the
Wait.
Obama
Actively
administration-
impeded. He's the
Obama
president.
didn't have a competitive administration that was arguing like wouldn't even use the word illegal to describe illegal immigrants. Like Joe Biden got pushback on that.
So why doesn't Trump try to like work with the governors and work with Congress better? Why does he make an enemy out of I thought he was supposed to be a leader. Why does he make an enemy out of
But
every
do
single
you
section of
not
the government?
believe- Who do you think set themselves into opposition to Trump when it comes to trying to deport illegals? The governors or Trump? Do you think Trump made that opposition in order?
Yes.
Like, you think that the other governors were happy to work on mass deportations, and Trump just provoked them into not being willing to do that?
Yes.
That's to me totally ridiculous. I
Okay,
think
well
it's
here's a
obvious the
question. So
Democratic strategy
if
forever
I
was
point
never
to the
engage
Trump
mass
plan
deportation.
and I see all of the stoking of racial flames of crazy random shit, the Haitians eating the dogs and the trying to foment all this hysteria around like Tren de Aragua and MS-13 or whatever, and then I look at them celebrating like the opening of like Alligator Alcatraz, and then you're asking me, do you really think they're trying to just make an enemy out of Americans that are opposed to this? How is that not the case? Of course.
Yeah, wait, so rhetoric that is pro-deportation of illegal immigrants means that you are not allowed to. It means that's putting people in opposition who you. would
Right,
say
there's not
would
enough,
arguably
so we're going back to here.
deport illegal immigrants.
Yep, ready.
Why would you water it down to rhetoric of pro-deportation? Alligator
That's the argument.
Alcatraz. No, it's that when you show an amount of cruelty, when you're trying to accomplish a thing, people are probably going to be less likely to go with you on that, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
Okay, so as the president, do you think maybe he should stop acting like a 15-year-old TikToker and should maybe like act like an adult
This
male?
actually is another area where we definitely agree, because I think there's a lot more commonality than you think. But when it comes to the illegal immigration deportations, I think there's a level of like a kind of demonstrated complacency from many people. It's like they're trying to make you as a conservative, or me as a conservative, like people like me who want to see big mass deportations. Obviously, the numbers aren't where we want them to be. So I think there's a level of,
I
like,
need
trying to
oil
put cruelty
and
out
lots
there,
of
like,
it.
demonstrate cruelty to make people more like, yeah, this is going on. Like, yeah, get out. Like, I see that where people are like, we're getting
17
done.
minutes.
Videos when the numbers are obviously lower than they should be, and that's a strategy that to me I find to
Jeez.
be kind of facetious. But I can agree with you there. Yeah.
Imagine if he was elected president, and imagine he said, we're going to go to every state, and we're going to voluntarily request from every state, from their prisons, people who are here illegally with felony or higher charges. I feel like that could be an instantaneous, every red state is going to agree, obviously. I think there'd be a heavy pressure on blue states. Why are you fighting the president on deporting criminals who have committed felonies, right? I think that would be like an easy thing. You don't need an Alligator Alcatraz. You don't need Kristi Noem, the subhuman demonic witch fuck, standing in front of cages, filming stupid fucking videos. Like, you could just do this. And I feel like there are so many ways. Like, Obama deported a ton of people and didn't seem to get the same type of pushback. But Trump revels in the divisiveness and in the aggression. And
Hey,
the
everyone,
stoking
how are you?
flames of civil war in this country. He did, with the truth I read to you earlier, he was doing it. He does it constantly. I don't know how you can't see that.
Do I have what,
The
Blueprint?
Obama not opposing device or not experiencing divisiveness is ridiculous to me. Like, or opposition. Sorry. Obama obviously didn't experience.
Nice,
opposition
thanks.
because it hadn't been,
I
like,
don't
adopted
think I do have that one.
Democrat strategy to support the illegal.
I really
invasion.
appreciate it, man. Thank
That was
you.
not a problem in
There's no
Obama's administration.
pro-Democrat
You're right.
strategy to support an illegal invade. What are you talking about?
Do you believe that the Democrats are preoccupied with trying to make mass deportations happen?
What's that?
Or do you believe they're more preoccupied
okay,
with
I gotta get
leaving the
my one.
border open and eventually moving towards confrontation? Which do you think is more likely?
I don't think anybody wants to leave
Oh, it's
the
G
border open.
for...
Here's what I.
Ah,
here's something
there
that I
it
know
is.
To be true. Here's something that I. Well, here's something that I know to be true. Here's something that I know to be true. If the bill that Biden had supported and the rest of the Democrats eventually supported, that was authored by a Republican senator for immigration, if that bill would have been supported at the end of Biden's term, instead of Trump pulling the plug on it from out of the office, saying, I want to keep this open to run on the election on, if that bill would have passed, we would have less illegal immigrants today in the country than we do right now, with none of all of this drama with ICE and everything else. So we wouldn't have had to 10x the fucking ICE budget. We wouldn't have everybody protesting and shooting each other and running over each other on the fucking streets. None of this shit would be happening. We'd have less people in this country. We would have processed all the asylum people by now. It would have been way better. But instead, we're never getting a bill on it, right? And I talked to 100 fucking Republicans before that. None of these fucking cowards, Kaizen and all these retards on Twitter are going to admit it now. But I asked all of them, if Trump doesn't have a bill on immigration by the end of his term, are you going to say it was a fucking failure? None of them are going to come out and say that now, but he won't, right? So it would have been better under Biden a second term.
What was that? Central corridor. Loading bay.
Than it is now for illegal immigration.
I'm comfortable saying that's a failure. I'm comfortable saying that's a failure. But I can say the bigger failure is the people who didn't even the administration that made very little effort. You talk about the bipartisan border bill. The bipartisan border bill allowed a minimum of how many crossings was it per week before shutdown was instituted? That sets a precedent for allowing some level of invasion into my country. That's not really something that I'm interested in.
Sure, but the thing is that you guys don't care about that. This was never a real problem to you. This was, like you said before, how Democrats find fake problems, and you said abortion, which is a very real ideological problem. The illegal immigration problem in the United States is not a real problem to Republicans, and I know it's not a real problem, because if it was, you guys would have been clamoring for a better deportation program. It never came. You guys didn't give a fuck. In general, Trump's ghost. You supported Donald Trump and all that. Vote for him. It's a vote for the administration. Sure. So, but if you support the administration, you don't vote for him, right? So if somebody's supporting Donald Trump, I understand this on the regular. I understand you. I'm saying that government should fail.
We're throwing out like $1 million. I want to stick on the deportation. Mass deportation. Starting the 2024 administration.
Harris.
Kamala Harris, you really believe that Kamala Harris would have had more than 2 million nominations this year?
For sure. If they would even pass that order, they had to faster, of course.
You actually.
The vast majority of the people that came here,
is that it?
Unquote,
nice.
were abusing the asylum seeking process over COVID. And what we needed was more.
How would Kamala Harris's base, which the rhetorical stances, which are very common, of no one's illegal on stolen land, or we need pathways to citizenship. How would this base respond?
Because these things that you're talking about,
nice move, well done.
Conservative memes of people on the left. The average person on the left is not doing Canadian fucking land acknowledgements and saying there are no stolen people on land or no illegal people on stolen.
I got a pretty good post.
Listen, I love you and I appreciate it, but you do campus space. These are. I'm not trying to attack you, okay? I'm not saying that, okay? But I'm just saying that younger people or kids have more radical positions. But that's not your average.
What's that, sorry?
I couldn't get a mine on the thing. Whatever those the distraction mines are.
Ah. You tried to. You went to sort of get a destruction mine so you could get on its back and then drop the mine on the top, yeah?
Yeah, I actually wouldn't have had it. It's fair
enough. Well, you got it anyway, so. Nah, I've got too many, if anything. I've just been spending the last hour just blowing this thing up bit by bit using an anvil, so...
Gotcha. Yeah, I was just here trying to use up my deadline for the day.
Cool. Well, all good.
Thank you, sir.
Pleasure. So what have we got?
An arc orbiter is en route. The safe window is closing. You have 10 minutes to return to Speranza. I repeat, 10 minutes.
All aboard is going abroad. Nice, 2 blueprints. Loving it. What is that the one I think it is? This one here? That's the heavy one, right? Have I got that right? Skips, continue, 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 skip. Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's that one. So infantry. Guns I already have. It is the one. Sweet. Okay, I can now make this bad boy. Do I have this as well? I already have that. Move Mickey. You know, screw it, why not? Solo. Hey, how are you? How you doing?
What's up? Who's this?
This is Chris. I just got your join invite, so.
Huh?
I just got your invite to join.
Oh, I got a friend invite from you, but I have no clue who you are.
Oh, really? Oh, well, I guess maybe it was a thing where we blew something up and I just sent a massive invites out like I usually do when people seem chill. And, yeah, maybe it's that. I don't know.
Alright, for sure, man. Good luck in your game.
Okay, cool. Bye. Sell these. Actually, wait. No. Recycle those. 100%. Right. Bench. Gunsmith. Ooh. Fuck. Canisters. I need canisters. Okay. Well, it's good to know that going forward. The only thing I'm missing is 2 more of these. Why are they so hard to find? You find the guns everywhere, but the fucking canisters are super hard to find.
Democrat voter is not the person going to a college campus debate. This is why Charlie Kirk liked debating these fucking people, because he knew they weren't representative of the average person. And by the way, and I do college debates, right? You see me, I go to some of these places. I have no problem doing them. Now, I have to do it because most of the conservatives that exist today are spineless fucks who know they can't defend any part of this administration, so they don't. They hide in their fucking holes and occasionally pop their head up to cry about fucking Israel or some shit. But that's it. But like the average college kid is not representative of the average voter. On the right or the left.
Yeah, I would agree so, but that's definitely a
Alright, let's sell some of these. Actually, no, wait, because I think I need some of those, so no. Oh, damaged heatsink? I definitely don't need those.
She was a district attorney. She was,
This is cycle down to nothing. Oh, sell that shit.
She was in the Senate.
Perfect.
And she said, it was part of her campaign rhetoric, that we have to have borders and we have to, you know, enforce our immigration stuff. And Biden supported a bill while Kamala Harris was vice president. Do a good job of what?
Sell some of this.
Securing the border?
No, because they had legislation they wouldn't pass it.
Wait, okay, so you think that because
right,
Kamala,
we're going back in again. Wait. Keys.
Border bill would have codified that we should have had like I think it was.
Did I lose that key?
Thousands of illegal immigrants
no.
per week.
Oh, I sold it. Right.
That wasn't accepted.
Still a while before midnight. I hate cold snap. So still I'm on this again.
I don't know. No, okay, but she could have pulled for it the same way that she could have pulled.
Right, so I need
those canister things. There would have been a cap on how many people could even come over. There would have been like a 3 times increase in the amount of asylum judges and everything.
You know what? Who is that guy? Doesn't matter.
Adjudicate these cases to get these people the fuck out of here for all the retards that came up like, oh, I'm an asylum seeker or whatever. Yeah, we would have chewed through that backlog way quicker. We might even be done with it by now. Yes.
Yeah, well, yeah, but then we just get a new amount of like 4,000 to 5,000 per week, and that would be normalized.
Why do you keep saying 4,000 to 5,000 per week? What the bill did was before there was no cap. What the bill would have done is if a certain amount came in, then if like over 4,000 or 5,000 a week came in, then the administration could say no more asylum seekers at all. That was the whole point. Was that the bill?
Okay, again, we're late as fucking this.
To say if this many came in over the course of a week or whatever, then you could say no more come in now. Before the cap was nothing.
Well, so do you think that if that went through, then people would not have been willing to? So you think that if that bill went through, then there would never have been, then there would have been like another bill that would have happened lower, or would it just stay there?
No, I think what would have happened is once we got through the backlog of all the asylum-seeking people, people wouldn't come into the country illegally anymore through the asylum process. What happened was when people realized, like, oh shit, their asylum system is backed up, so if I come in and I claim asylum, they're going to give me a slip saying I have to show up at court, right? This is the catch and release thing, right? And then I can just hang out in the country until my fucking case gets called. Once people started to realize that little gimmick, like millions of people started coming and like, hey, I'm claiming asylum. Give me a slip and I'll be in court in a few days, or I promise, or a few weeks or a few months. But if that asylum backlog is basically eliminated and you come into the country and you're like, you want to claim asylum? Oh, cool. Well, we can see you fucking tomorrow. Way less people will do it because they're just going to get kicked out immediately. It's like, oh, I have a bullshit case.
Yeah, wait, so I totally don't believe that it would have gone down after it was assumed.
Okay.
I think this would have set a. I think that's a reasonable position to take. This would have made a long-term precedent, and I think it's a really bad solution to the problem. And I agree that maybe it would be better than the previous solution, but because it sets a standard that likely will not be brought down, it's
sets a standard for what?
For allowing that many crossings, or allowing that many.
You say it sets a standard. The standard before was infinity. There was no cap before. All the bill did was it set an upper cap.
The standard was zero. The standard was zero.
No, that's not true. And how do you think millions of people came in illegally? It was by claiming asylum. Trump didn't have to deal with it with his last fucking year because he was able to do the Title 42 thing and say, oh, it's a health emergency. Nobody can come because of COVID. It wasn't because of Trump's brilliant border policies. Fuck, the third year under Trump had more illegal immigrants coming into the country than the last 4 years under Biden. It's not like Trump was doing anything amazing at the fucking border. It was just he had Title 42 because COVID was happening. And then Biden came in, and then a whole bunch of people started to swarm the fucking border once the Title 42 shit was gone, and once people figured out the asylum, a ton of people started abusing that. And then we had a piece of legislation, because believe it or not, Congress is the one that's supposed to do all this shit, that actually solve the problem and to put an upper cap, because sometimes there will be so many people coming in, you can say, hey, more than 5,000 come in, the cap is zero now for a week or two until...
Oh shit, someone died here?
That would have been a real, actual solution for our, if you believed it was a real problem. But this is why I know that conservatives don't think illegal immigration is a real problem, because they don't have any real solutions for it.
I didn't kill him, I just found him.
Chicago in 2 weeks to fix all crime, or that all crime is gone in D.C.
Well, you ain't gonna get shit, boss. Just saying.
Immigrants entering the United States for the past 3 months. This is fucking
oh, look at you! Oh shit! Oh shit!
You think it's been zero?
Oh, I get this one. I get the knockout. I get the knockout. Thank you, bro. Bye bye. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it.
For some people, it's reasonable. It actually bothers me. It's like where it's like this MAGA cult where like Trump is like my Lord and Savior. I disagree with him on numerous points. But what I can say is, regardless,
I really actually, you know what? Do you want to have a look for helping me? You want to look at the guy? All right, cool. Bye.
The outcome right now is that crossings are significantly lower. Whether or not Trump, being the exaggeratory person he is, who wants to inflate himself, objectively, that's his just common behavioral traits, whether or not he is pushing those numbers up through, like, saying it's actually zero, or not, the crossings are lower. So that's what I'm focused on. I don't sit here and I don't sit here and read every tweet from Trump and say he's being slightly exaggeratory. Clearly, it's not an avid solution to the problem.
Every tweet from Trump? I'm just saying any statement is not slightly exaggerating. He's lying to stoke. If it was the case that the President of the United States was lying to stoke the flames of civil tension until a civil war breaks out, would that be a really bad thing to you? Or is that just kind of like I don't really watch his tweets much?
If the intention is civil war, yeah, but I don't think the intention is civil war.
When Donald Trump is labeling one side over and over again as all being radical domestic terrorists and paid agitators who are engaged in domestic terrorism, what do you think he's trying to do there?
True.
Do you want to have a second to fix this? So can you repeat the question?
Try again. For any elected leader who's engaged in that. Labeling everybody on the other side a domestic terrorist, saying all the violence comes from radical leftist left, which apparently is all of Congress. Like rhetoric every Republican for like the past 10 years has claimed this is a huge widespread problem. Yeah, I think I saw Billy Johnson tweet on it today. We can go.
That's not the same statement. Wait. You agree that the statement that most of, or even half of, all the protesters are paid. That's an insane statement to make, right? There's never been any proof of that ever. One part of it, yes.
Oh, and down. Nice. Well done.
Is civil war. Like that most protests are paying. I don't think he's even said most. We're saying that protests aren't being paid off is civil war, like provoking provocation.
Well, I said one part of it, yes.
Yeah, that's to me.
How you doing?
One part of it, yes. Like, that's
as in, we're building towards it, right?
Okay, so that's one statement. That's like exaggerating the amount of protesters that are paying.
Okay. Lying. That's a lie. That's not an exaggeration. That's a lie.
And then saying that leftists are. That is an exaggeration because there are probably paid protests. I mean, I say that there are paid protests. It would be ridiculously illogical to say there are not. So if he's saying that there are many, I do not in any way believe that there are. But he's saying that there's a bunch of these paid protests. That is exaggerating.
I have seen absolutely zero evidence ever of any protesters being paid ever. I've never seen that.
Okay, do you not believe ideologically that because it is such a good incentive, well-incentive thing that is easy to do and illegal to do you not believe that that is definitely happening just out of like that?
You're asking me one of like logical possibility. Like I'm sure there probably is somebody. I guess. Like it would be stupid in a country of 340 million people to say nobody's. I'm sure somebody has been, but that's not his implication that somebody might have been. When they say it, they imply that they found it and they see it happening on a massive scale. I've never seen any evidence. What?
Head home at the
So it's not a lie then. He says that he evidence.
How would that not be a lie?
We don't know his evidence. Like, you can't ascribe.
He has to show us the evidence. What do you mean? He's the president of the United States. You can't just make statements and not show anybody evidence for your statements. Otherwise, then the president can make any statement he wants.
But he's saying okay, even that. Okay, I guess that's a good point. But if we're going back to the argument, okay, so inciting revolution is the thing. I'm trying to fix the OBS again. I've given up now, so I'm actually. But so. The inciting revolution. So you're inciting civil war. It's crazy. Like, very
good run. Well done.
Yep.
And to the person who helped me, thanks very much.
Actually, can I ask a follow-up question?
Sure.
If someone is trying to incite civil war, and their goal is to sow dissent to the point that it leads to like, mass casualties, then what is your solution?
I can't say it because I'm on YouTube right now.
72,000.
I was just seeing if it tracked. Okay.
It tracks. It tracks.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely 100% it tracks. But okay. But let me ask this question from the other side. Wait. Let me ask this question from the other side.
I'd like to carry that over. That's good.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So he also says that there's violence happening from the radical left. Are these two statements not both proving themselves?
Yeah. Drop the beat.
I mean, by the radical left. The solution to Trump is what obviously we can't say due to. So say that the radical left is violent. If the ideology violent, like
nice.
Well, sure. Let's test this. So let's say that I say that you are a violent, murderous person. Okay. And you say no. And then let's say that I go to your house and you said you had a dog or a cat, and I start raping your animal, and then you punch me. Did you just prove my point?
Wait, hold on. Okay, so if you don't have the, can you restate the analogy? Sorry.
if I do something to provoke you into attacking me after saying you're a violent person, did I just prove my point that you're a violent person?
No, because there's a provocation there.
Okay. That's the difference.
But I would say that his statement being that they are violent is obviously true. I mean, I could say like that is a there's definitely I have a better question. Do you believe that there is a currently like on a person-to-person scale increased amount of violence on the left and the right?
On the left and the right?
Than the right.
Person to person? What do you mean by that?
Like on average, do you think that on average most leftists are more willing to exercise violence than most conservatives, or at least it support it and endorse it on like a partisan scale?
It's hard to say because it's not a very fair question. Because different.
I don't really know.
Who's getting like who would violently protest under Obama? What would you even what would you even do that he's like it's a weird question because like if you were to ask me
that's
who do you think has more like violent opposition like Hitler
opposite.
or Barack Obama? Well, probably Hitler. It's like, oh well, doesn't that show that Hitler's enemies are more violent? I mean, I guess, but it's like obviously because he's so much more provocateur than Obama would be. Same thing with Trump.
Well, let's talk about the difference in ideology. So this is about reaction to stimulus. So obviously, through your ideology, Trump is a really bad person. Like I can agree.
I would say
and
evil,
then that
but yeah.
To, yeah, but and that would escalate to you know, the violent measures, I guess. But then if you go to like the right, to the right, like obviously like, a good example is a lot of right-wingers consider like abortion to be genocide, right?
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of debating that individual topic, that's a really big like Hitler-level problem. And yet, right-wingers do not follow like what you seem to believe is the ideological conclusion of wishing violent death upon their opponents.
Literally multiple abortion clinics have already been shut up. Multiple abortion clinics have been shut up historically. That's something that does happen. It's not that common, but it does happen. Number one. And number two, right-wingers now are happy. I think there was just another girl that died in Texas like a week or two ago of sepsis because the doctor performed an abortion orders. They were worried about it.
Computer cells, art,
I feel like this,
motor.
So it does happen on the right.
Shit.
Maybe not as commonly.
This needs
like, do you not
oil and crude explosives. I commit crude explosive chemicals.
Optical, like, I guess, I don't know, I'm the word just in my mind. Can you not make an assertion that probably it is occurring more on the left than on the right?
Potentially, but the issue is that the left doesn't get the administration to carry out their violent fetish fantasies for them, but the right does get their administration to carry out their violent fetish fantasies for them. So it's hard to make the comparison.
It's a direct comparison because to the right, where abortion's a genocide, when
well, no, I'm guessing so abortion is a bullshit. I don't think many people on the right care about this anywhere near as much as they say they do. So I immediately reject.
Absolutely, because as a right winger,
that's fine.
One of my #1 priority issues.
That's fine. That's fine. I know people say that. No, wait, hold on. That's fine. But I'm saying that if we look at the left, we're already down at. You want to talk about rabbit holes? But we're gonna a weird rabbit hole. If I'm on the left, and I like the conversation. If I'm on the left and I have a fantasy of my left-leaning president, you know, going ham, right? What do I have? I've got Biden, who is constantly saying, I want to be a president for all Americans. I've got Garland, who took 2 years to actually issue indictments or an investigation for Donald Trump to appoint a special counsel. I've got, where's my violent fantasies from? I've got Obama, who did what? Where's my violent fantasies? Or I could do Trump.
It's not a statement. It can't be viewed through the lens of your ideology, because this is a comparison of how people react to their stimulus. Like, I would say, if the left views abortion as, like, a violent, like, evil act, then the right-wingers do see the return of, like, trying to make this happen, with Kamala supporting, you know, like, I don't believe that Kamala ever even said a point in which, like, it never set a limit.
Right, please be a decent time. Okay, cool, right at the beginning. Where are we? Well, the medical not bad. Not bad this time. Good.
Also, insist on her what they would call a sick fantasy. That's directly correlated. So it's like, okay, obviously both administrations are willing to do something the other person considers to be evil ideologically.
If you're trying to compare...
Well, the difference between the right and the left is that the left reacts to that by saying, okay, this is that violence is a solution. The right is not willing to make that leap, at least not on average. Yeah, sure.
The right gets the violence to be carried out by the administration, though. That's the difference. That's what I'm saying. Their fantasy...
Under the right-wing worldview, so does the left.
If we're only looking at abortion, are we going to compare abortion as like such a clear-cut, obvious answer to every other type of thing that we're talking about?
Are you arguing that the right also wants that violence against the left, but instead of maybe I misunderstood you. Maybe instead of the like outlet being through their own will, like the left has to, the right gets it done through ICE, but not necessarily that ICE is the provocation for like the unequal provocation compared to abortion.
think a provocation compared to abortion.
It's a really bad way to say it. Okay, are you
I'm just saying abortion is like a
are as violent. They just use ICE as their outlet.
kind of, but I'm saying that like abortion is like an issue that, regardless of your stance on it, I happen to be pro-choice, but any reasonable person would acknowledge that there are difficult questions to answer in the first couple months of a fetus's existence. So that's not clear cut. The only way that becomes clear cut is if you're religious. But otherwise, there's like reasonable interpretation on both sides of that debate. But things become much less crazy when it comes to issuing indictments to political opponents or you know, sending ICE to, or the National Guard, deploying them against the will of the governors against all the states, or having federal agents standing outside California buildings when Newsom is giving a speech. Like, these things are way more clear-cut than that.
I mean, maybe too, but to the left.
Watch it, was a rat round here.
I mean, it's not even like...
Oh, it's you? Oh, you're the rat! Oh, shit!
Like, who gets the most abortions?
Well, congratulations, you get fuck all.
Isn't that good for your
Well,
side?
I'm not a racialist.
Okay. Okay, whatever. But the people wouldn't
I
it be
think
less...
mass genocide of African Americans is bad for conservatives.
That's fine.
Anyone
But
who
wouldn't it
says
be
otherwise is not
ultimately,
conservative.
consequentially, it would be less Democrat voters at the end of the day, number one. And number two, nobody's forcing conservatives to even
I
get
got killed by a
abortions. It's not
fucking
being
pharaoh.
Hoisted upon the conservative party, where like, now you guys have to be baby killers and get abortions too. So like, it's not even...
Yeah, they're paying for it.
What do you mean?
If you want to use the argument they're paying for it, you're probably paying less for an abortion than you would for a kid whose, you know, dad completely abandons the mom who needs social services for the rest of her life. No?
I'm totally cool with paying for that.
Then the I'm paying for it argument didn't mean anything then, no?
No, it did. What do you mean? I'm saying
No
I'm
more
paying
simple-
for the action which I think is evil, while the Democrat, well, I'm comfortable paying with the action that I think is not evil. Like that's the difference. And I don't want to go to full abortion because I think honestly, like,
Is
I
it?
think Trent did a better job than I ever will on this. But
Okay, then backing
I
up from the
think
abortion
that's-
thing, here would be my question. I made the claim of stoking the tensions and the flames of civil war, and you seem to take a big issue with that statement about Trump's presidency. Let's say that I wanted to incite this country towards civil war. Okay, what would I do differently from the current administration? What action would I take that I feel like this current administration hasn't taken or is on the path to enacting?
what action would you take? Okay, so many other actions. You would I mean, directly like. This is like a really hard question to answer because there's so many ways you could do it.
I just be clear. Hold on, wait, hold on. Just be clear. I super disagree with that. I think that should be the easiest fucking question in the world to answer. If you would ask me the same question, if I ask you a question, you can ask me the same one for anything. Under Biden, I give you 50 million different ways how it could be worse. But so I just want to place. It's a very simple question. It's only hard right now. It's only hard because you're trying to think of things that Trump hasn't already done, and you realize, holy shit, on my checklist is like 100 things. He's done that. He's done that. He's done that. That's why this is a hard question for you. The fact that you have to say it's really hard for me to think of what would be more insightful of a civil war than what the current administration is an indictment of the current administration. But go ahead.
It absolutely is not. It's just that I'm trying to think about what's like a measured opinion. You could say, do a civil war, kill this official. This official needs to be killed. That's a way that you could be provoking.
So like
that.
when Donald Trump quote tweets people saying that people should be tried for treason and hung when those 6 senators or whatever made the fucking video on the military shit?
He did not call for people to kill them. He called for them to be put through a trial that would see if they were liable for that crime.
And executed.
Yeah, if they were liable for the crime. Yeah, if you're found guilty, I can say blank killed somebody. Like that's different, and they should be tried for possibly face the death penalty. That's very, very, very different than saying that so and so should be killed.
Okay. In that case, then, from now on, if every Democrat were to go on stage and were to say, I think that we need to start trying every single Republican for treason and hang them if they're guilty, you'd be okay with that. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, well, that's fine. He said try him first.
I'd say it's probably, pretty ridiculous thing to do.
Okay. Just to be clear, you know that that's what everybody does, right? Like, there's no such thing as a dictator that comes out and says, we're going to illegally execute our opponents. We're going to illegally murder people. There's a reason why. Right? When Saddam Hussein executed people, it's because they were being traitors to the party. When people come out, when Pinochet was murdering political opposition, when Gaddafi was doing, whenever a person comes up, they never say, like, we're going to start murdering our opponents for no reason. There's always a pretextual reason for it. Because they're seditious, because they're engaged in treason, because they're betraying the state. When North Korea kidnaps people, there's always a reason for it, right? So
you think that when Trump calls, like, and he says, okay, so-and-so needs to be prosecuted for this crime, the end goal is to, like, subvert the justice system and kill them?
Considering that they have already released false indictments for multiple people, now they're trying to indict the fucking chair of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell? Yes.
You can think that, but that's a ridiculous leap of character. That's a wild leap in character assumption. Maybe, just maybe. You can't say like that's the same as saying like, oh, because which maybe this is actually a different statement, but you can't say that because someone's bringing a case, they are trying to subvert the justice system to result in that person being like falsely imprisoned or killed. Unless the case is false, but even then bringing it is not a bad thing. Am I still connected right now?
Yeah.
Okay. But either way, I obviously got really far away from the initial point. But I don't know, like, my thing with Trump is I'm not like a radical like Trump guy where I think
well you are
he's just amazing and perfect, and I'm definitely not.
You are you're defending them. Like I guarantee you that in 4 or 5 years, when a Democrat has won the next election, you're going to be criticizing every single thing the Democrat does as being beyond the line. Even though you can't give me a single thing that Biden did that was anywhere near as close to inflammatory as what Trump has probably even truthed out today. If I were to go Trump,
Trump's more inflammatory than Biden. Yes,
but not just inflammatory in the direction of civil war. That's what he's pushing us towards when he constantly says everybody on the left is a terrorist, everybody on the left is evil, everybody on the left is trying to do this thing, but people on the right are righteous, and when they engage in violence, they're actually doing it for good reasons. And like, this is crazy shit for the president of the United States to be saying.
Yeah, that's a worse trait than Biden. Like, he has that worse than Biden. Yeah, but I don't believe. Like, my difference between me and you.
Well, hold on, wait, just real quick. He doesn't have it worse than. Wait, he doesn't have it. He doesn't have it.
Like death.
What incites for civil war then? Hold on, just to be clear, you agree that
for civil war.
Wait, you agree that the Civil War people in the United States, they didn't incite for civil war, right? They just said they wanted the states to have their own country, that they have the right to secede from the Union. That wasn't inciting civil war, right? So the Civil War that we happened wasn't incited by people who wanted a civil war, right?
Wait, so do you think that it was evil whenever the people in the Civil War were saying that they wanted states' rights, or do you think that the bad part of secession happened once they said we are seceding?
Even for the seceding, when they said we are seceding and all that shit, and the attacks at Fort Sumter and everything, yeah, these people, none of them were apparently engaged in civil war because nobody came out and said, I want civil war.
They seceded. They seceded. That's provoking civil war. It's literally saying we are declaring.
Why does that have to be a civil war? You can't secede. You can't leave as a country, and now you have to be a civil war. Why?
Declaring secession, whenever a country is still claiming ownership of you, is engaging in civil war.
Okay, then don't you think declaring that people ought to be hung before they've even been charged with a crime might be like a little bit violent in terms of rhetoric towards your political adversaries?
Saying that they should be hung, or saying that the punishment can be being hung?
Either of those.
That's very different, unbelievably different. And I can say that I could say so-and-so is guilty of treason, or so-and-so should be prosecuted for treason. If Trump went out on his podium and said, and I know you probably don't believe this because you don't know me very well, but if Trump went out on his podium and he said, all right, guys, I think that we should hang this person, do it tomorrow, I would obviously say that is evil and
nobody
wrong.
ever says that. The most evil dictators of all time never said that, though. They come out with something pretextual. They come out and they say, this person has been guilty of trying to subvert our country, and they've been treasonous, and now we found them guilty, we're hanging them. That's always what they'll say.
There's no judge, though. There's a judge in treason. There's a judge in treason. There's no judge when Saddam Hussein locks the door and then escorts his political opponents out and shoots them.
Maybe they'll have a special process for it. Like, they've just put a special prosecutor in the fucking White House to issue these bullshit indictments towards people or whatever. You agree that, like, the indictments that were issued towards Comey were bullshit, right?
Or issuing indictments or managing, like, charges.
I mean, first of all, the indictments that they've been seeking, like on Letitia James, on Comey, on Bolton, these are like bullshit indictments, right? Do you agree with that? That the Comey indictments were bad?
These issues, I haven't read the specific indictment. No. I don't know the specific indictment.
Okay, they're important. I would recommend looking into them if you care about this topic, which I know you don't. And then the second thing is having all of these people, because if you have an interest in the evil things the government is doing, issuing politically motivated indictments towards opponents should be like at the top of the list of like crazy shit that's happening. Oh, there's a lot of crazy shit that's happening. But you agree that like everybody in this administration, you talk about like, well, they're judges for that. Hasn't everybody in this administration been attacking all of the judges every time they disagree with them? Like saying that these judges are like illegitimate, they're illegal. I'm sorry, I didn't mean everybody. I meant the President of the United States, the Vice President of the United States, the Attorney General, the head of the Department of Justice.
Donald Trump disagrees with the ruling? Clearly he's trying to take over the country.
Not disagrees with the rulings, but says these are illegitimate judges that are acting outside of their jurisdiction. They shouldn't even be allowed to make Did Biden or Obama ever say that like these judges are corrupt and evil and shouldn't be allowed to rule on these things?
I don't know, this is like a whataboutism.
It's not a know what about it is. I'm asking, I'm saying Trump did a horrible thing. None of the Democrat presidents have done this horrible thing. And you're making it sound like, well, it's just a normal thing, but it's not.
Is it horrible to criticize a ruling from a judge? And then criticize, like, I guess, the standing of the judge? Because obviously, I think the check is impeachment. How is that an evil thing?
Is that what he did? Is that what I said he did? He criticized a ruling?
No, I haven't. I don't know the specific scenario. I mean, I don't know everything Trump has said. This is your job. I'm in college. I have this stuff going on.
What's wrong with open borders? Is it really that bad to let someone in your country if they need help?
This is a crazy shift in topic, but yeah, it's bad to let everyone else in the country.
Not everyone. Is it bad? So it's bad to let in somebody to help them out a little bit.
Yeah, when you don't have the resources to take care of your own people already. Yeah.
Oh, so it's bad to help anybody ever.
Are you like fully? Are you like fully cosmopolitan, or you just think like, is this?
No, I'm repeating the vague, watered down general bullshit.
Sorry,
like, oh, so you can't criticize the judge's ruling? He's not criticizing a judge's ruling. These people are talking about like the illegitimacy of a lot of these judges.
Oh, you're saying that I straw man you? Okay. Yeah.
No,
so
that you're watering down his
Okay.
criticism to be so tepid and weak that he's not even making. He's not. These people are questioning the legitimacy of our judges.
So questioning the legitimacy of the judge. I'd have to read the specific things. It could be bad. If it's bad, I disagree with it. But I specifically don't think. Yeah, I guess if it's bad, I disagree.
Okay, so then, okay.
I prefer to argue stuff that I like know the case we're arguing. Because I can argue ideology all the time. Like, I can argue like I do believe like mass illegal immigration is bad. I can believe that mass deportation is a good solution to that problem. But I prefer not to argue like Trump on this date said this, because obviously there's going to be a stumble because I don't know every single statement from Trump. This is your full-time job. I'm a full-time college student. I'm like an 18-year-old, so I don't know everything in Trump's history because I politically was highly.
It's not about knowing everything. It's just like this. Do you agree that Trump is the most divisive president we've had in the last 30, 40 years?
Let me think. I probably do, but I want to make sure I do. Yeah, I'd say probably. Yeah, totally. He's very controversial. Yeah.
But like not just controversial, like divisive, like sets the sides against each other constantly.
Those are kind of synonyms, though, right? But
no.
But I like dividing. Okay, I guess like yeah. I mean, Trump is pretty dividing. Yeah. He disagrees with the left pretty strongly. Yeah, but that's not even. Like, I'd far rather.
And then just hold on, wait. I just want to be clear. I just want to get this right now in case. Wait, just in case we get a crazy Democrat in office. If a Democrat like truths out on our own platform when we make reason.org as our truth platform, if Democrats start tweeting out things like seditious behavior, punishable by death. This is really bad and dangerous to our country. Their words cannot be allowed to stand. Seditious behavior from traitors. Lock them up. That if the next president, fucking Soros Jr. or whatever, is saying stuff like this about Republicans, you'll be like, oh, that's cool. I support it. It's okay, actually. As long as he's saying, behavior punishable by...
I would criticize Trump for saying that's highly inflammatory.
It's just highly inflammatory. Okay. What is the difference between...
He's not saying anything illegal there. It's saying it's implying prosecution.
You can stoke the flames of civil war without saying illegal things, no?
Okay, so is your point that because he's really inflammatorily saying that someone should be prosecuted for something, we should take the logical leap to say that he was trying to create civil war?
I'm saying that if I were to try to imagine the things I would do to stoke the flames of civil war in this country, if I were to list out 50 things, my guess is Trump has probably already done 48 of them.
Okay, well, I think I'm going to need more evidence of that, because I just don't.
How about the president tweeting out as long when the president is acting in to save his country, he breaks no law or whatever? Hold on, let me find the exact quote. When Trump, I think, truthed out when he was saying his country does not violate any law. Isn't that kind of crazy? I don't care if it's an old quote. I can find 50 million old quotes that are horrible old quotes. Why would that matter? I think it's like from fucking Napoleon or something.
Oh, okay, I don't know. But either way, I mean, I think if something is, at the end of the day, I would say it's an ideological disagreement, probably, and like, how you get through processes. But I don't think that's civil war.
How is seceding from the country? Hold on. How is seceding from a country not like a difference in process? Like, you know, the states that seceded thought they made the argument that they had the right to secede.
Yeah.
So how is that not just a process disagreement? Why does that have to be a civil war?
I'm not following the
How is it that Donald Trump saying, "He who saves his country does not violate any law," which seems to imply that he believes, as long as he's saving the country, he exist in an above the law territory where nothing he does is illegal. Okay? But you're like, well, that's his opinion on the law. Why can't you just say that the states that thought that they had the legal right to secede from the Union, why are they driving us to civil war? Maybe they thought, you know, and there were arguments at the time that they thought, well, we actually can secede from the Union.
Well, being shot at.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue that.
Watch it, there's a guy shooting at you.
Because it's not like, in our interest. I think countries act far more in their best interest than. I think often whenever interest is not like I guess able to be achieved through like prior precedent, like people shift. What is the policy? I think those things are very different. But even then, I can criticize the statement that is made. I can say, like, maybe I disagree with it in some levels. But my argument is not that Donald Trump is a perfect user of rhetoric, or that other candidates are perfect users of their rhetoric. But I'm arguing that the reason why I support the candidate more than the opposition is because the opposition, while, yeah, sure, maybe rhetorically is better off, their ideology is radically different and in direct opposition to
I don't even know what ideology
like,
Trump has. You can't even
Harris,
point to a consistent ideology from Trump.
You can't go. You don't think there's big ideological differences between him and Kamala?
I don't know what. I can't even say the ideology. Can you give me one consistent policy position that Donald Trump has had?
Believes that all illegal immigrants should be deported.
Okay, that's a big position that he's had in this administration. Although they're fucking up horribly at doing any mass deportations. His first term in office, they didn't really focus on it that much. Like, the illegal immigration was growing in his administration until year 4 when COVID happened.
Yeah, I mean, well, he hadn't been fully on the problem, but it's definitely always been ideologically he was bad. Like, do you not believe that matched with his ideology always? Like, he believes that to be negative?
No, not all the time. Right? They had talks with, like, didn't he have that big thing where he came out and he was like, well, we're not going to enforce this as much with, like, farmers and hotels or whatever? Because they were getting a whole bunch of complaints from certain states who were saying, like, hey, we're going to get fucked really hard in these sectors if you guys...
I guess here's a better way to put it, I feel like. It's not necessarily that it's, like, he's super consistent on it, but Kamala is consistently, like, oppositional almost. Like, there was never really much rhetoric about trying to work in the problem.
They had a piece of legislation to do it. Like, they had a bill to do it. Which is way more
sufficient at all, and would have led to a bigger problem.
But it wouldn't have, right? It would have largely fixed the asylum problem. You're
Hurry
just
up! Come on.
You just don't. You should read the bill. You don't know the facts. You just have no idea. That's just not true. It would have been a real solution.
It allows a minimum.
What?
It allows a minimum crossing.
It's not a minimum. That's a maximum. The maximum before was infinity.
Sorry, but it allows a bar below the maximum.
There's always been, yeah, but you have some people cross, you deport them. What do you mean? It's not like they accept illegal immigrants. It was how many asylum seekers could come through to be adjudicated.
But do you earnestly? What do you think Kamala Harris's solution to the problem of mass immigration would have been?
The solution would have been to multiply the funding to 3. I think it was 3 times the amount of asylum seekers. It would have been to increase funding and security for the border, real funding and security, not painting the fucking fence black like the retarded fucks in office right now did. And then it would have been.
Clearly, the security system working since we're so bad.
Screw that.
The problem is I can't believe any of the numbers from the current administration because I know it's not 0. You know it's not 0. So both of us agree they're lying about that, right? So that's already bullshit. We've already seen them do things like, oops, we don't have the October jobs report, LOL, right? So we already know that they'll lie when the numbers don't support their case. Okay, and then 3, I'm sure that there is probably less illegal immigration. There's less of every immigration because Trump is fucking up this country in like 50 million different ways. I don't know how much that supports the argument. But all I'm saying is regardless of any success he's had, there would have been more with an actual piece of legislation that would have actually done something for the border. It would have been a real solution, not the virtue signal one, because I don't think conservatives actually give a fuck about illegal immigration. I don't think it's as big a problem as they say it is.
I totally disagree. I think that obviously the policy is attempting to move in this direction. Maybe there actually could have been more solution, but only because he wouldn't have been as impeded as he is currently by all of the opposition who does not want. They don't.
If that's the case, then it's still a failing of his as the leader of the country. If it was an actual problem, then I would say the conservatives should be super mad.
The problem and having people oppose him is a failure because he wants to solve the problem and they don't.
Is that why they're opposing him?
Yes. I don't think they want. I do not.
Wait. You say that again. So they're only opposing Trump because he wants to deport illegal immigrants. That's the only reason?
With yourself. Oh.
No, I didn't say that. That's not what I said. I'm saying they're opposing him on illegal immigration because I don't believe that they share the interest of deporting illegal immigrants.
Try again. Keep going. Why are they opposing? We went over this whole thing before. I think it's the videos from Kristi Noem. I think it's the video of fucking Alligator Alcatraz selling merchandise from it. I think it's
think it's all rhetoric? Okay, so
yes,
do you
I think most of it is. Yes.
Earnestly, you think it's all rhetoric, and you don't think there's an ideological disagreement where Trump thinks that we should be deporting people, and Kamala does not.
I don't think that there is as much daylight between the two parties as Trump makes it out to be.
That's not an answer, though. That's not an answer. I mean, do you believe
What
that's
is
a
not an answer?
problem that Kamala cares about?
Yes. They were talking about immigration, and they were talking about even under Biden's term. What was the fucking meme statement?
What the hell does this thing do?
Do not come. Yes, they were talking about it for the Biden administration.
Were they doing a good job? Were they doing like an active
Renegade, medium ammo.
No, but they didn't have
Moderates.
the funding for it because the laws on the books were fucking them. Because if somebody comes in and claims asylum, you have to let them in. You give them a fucking slip, and they send the country somewhere until their adjudication date comes up. And there was a bigger backlog for the adjudication of these cases for the asylum judges than there ever had been in U.S. history. Because as soon as COVID ended,
we can talk Trump all the time for methodology, but it seems as though Trump is doing a far better job at reaching that ends. Like I can say all we want, the rhetoric is bad, all these things, but at the end of the day, I'm an American who lives in my daily life, and I know that as a consequence of Trump's efforts, the illegal immigration problem is being solved far more than it was under the Biden administration.
it's not though.
There was
Do you agree when he said there were 30 million? He said there were 30 million illegals here, right? He said 30 million came under Biden, and they deported. If we take their numbers for it, 2 million. So it's 28 million more people.
How many did Biden deport? How many did Biden
No,
deport?
I'm not talking about Biden. You're talking about Trump. Okay. There are 30 million that came under Biden, and he's deported.
It's a comparison. It's the topic is comparison.
Well, the comparison would be with the border bill that Trump shut down. So that would be what we compare it to.
Okay, well, minus the bill, was Biden trying to do a good job?
Minus the bill. The bill is how you do it.
Is the Renegade pretty good?
You think he was banking on the bill? That was
Prime mod, lever action, 12, medium. It's like a
As opposed to
right?
just trying to do everything via executive order.
He proposed it right at the end of the administration as a consolation prize to more moderates.
The bill had been worked on for years. This was a Senate-written bill for immigration stuff.
Okay, but you don't believe that
Screw it. Let's give it a go.
did a bad job about handling illegal immigration.
I think he could have done a better job, but I mean, like, he came in under COVID. We had Israel and Ukraine. Like, there was a whole bunch of fucking shit going on in the world. We were fighting inflation the whole time.
So much going on, too. I mean, but
no, hold on, wait. That's not true. There was nothing going on in the world under Trump. He's the one who came in and started fucking everything up. There were no new wars starting. Now we're at war with fucking Venezuela. We weren't bombing Iran. Now we're bombing Iran. Okay, we weren't terrorizing the entire fucking world. Now we're terrorizing the entire fucking world. We weren't like blowing up random fucking ships in the ocean. Now we're blowing up random ships. None of this stuff was happening until Trump came into office, and now it's all happening now. He's bombed like 9 countries in the past year.
Right, so canisters and oil is what I
But
need.
either way, I don't believe that because there were other stuff going on under Biden, it excuses Biden not working to combat one of the bigger problems.
It
in
wasn't a
American
bigger
government.
problem. The huge problem was affordability and inflation. And then, like, the crazy international war stuff that was also influencing affordability and inflation. These were the huge problems. Immigration is only a huge problem.
think
Illegal
the
immigration is only a huge
massive
problem.
illegal immigration is like-
No. No, and I
think
know
it's
it's
an
not. I know
impending
it's
issue?
not.
You think it's
I
an
know
impending
it's
issue?
not. You know, I know it's not an important issue, even to conservatives, because if it was, all of you would be fucking furious that Trump has failed fucking miserably for no reason in addressing the problem.
I wish you could see me talk about this regularly because I genuinely.
Okay.
I'm
And
very bothered by it.
then
I
you
can't-
should say every day how irritated you are that Trump made an enemy out of every
time.
because if you wanted to get rid of illegal immigrants, there are so many easier things that Trump could have done that would have made Democrats look so fucking retarded.
Okay, let's go.
Trying to oppose him on it.
Pieces of Trump. I mean, which pieces of most of Trump's intervention efforts, I also am not too interested in either. I mean, I'm not like a diehard. Like,
Where the hell am I?
The conception is, okay,
Oh,
I'm
load.
conservative,
Made a loading
and
bay,
I
huh?
think Trump is better, so I love Trump. That's not the case. And while I do believe, and the reason why I contest a lot of your positions, is I do believe that you take a far more hardline anti-Trump position.
I wonder,
than
how
would.
good is this thing
There
at
are many
taking on
areas the failure
Arc?
to successfully deport as many people as I think should be is a great thing. However, I am significantly more in favor of it
Not terrible.
than what I see as barely any or to zero
Hey, you doing good?
as was happening under the Biden administration. I don't
Except
see
a comprehensive
near-
bill that would have
except the bill- except the
completely
bill that
addressed the
allowed
asylum
for,
problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Some precedent, some people should be able to.
No, there's no bill. When you say that, do you think the bill is
Shit.
For people that get claim asylum, they still have to be adjudicated. They're not automatically granted asylum. They go to an asylum judge. They got papers that come with it. They give them a slip and they got to come to the court date in a month or 2 or 3.
Off the bill, I honestly, I would love. I at one point I knew more about it. I feel bad that if I would have known it would have gone here, I would have looked back. The main thing that bothers me about the comparison is successful.
I don't even know if that's true. I don't know who's more popular between Trump or Biden. I actually don't know the answer to that. I don't know who's.
Partisan denialism.
It's not partisan denialism. I do know that if I really cared, if I really cared,
Biden's rhetoric about illegal immigrants.
I don't know if the self-deportations are good. If there were 1 million people here who would have lost their asylum cases for being here for bullshit reasons, and the immigrants would give you $1,000 or $2,000 to leave, and they're like, oh fuck, hell yeah, and now we just fucking shit out, $2 billion for people who fucking in the first place. Why would I think that's a big deal? It's probably better spent on just having more asylum seekers. We spend less money. We would have rewarded them for fucking coming to the country illegally and send them back to whatever fucking country to come back legally again if they wanted to. Because part of that self-deportation, they got
I would definitely prefer the latter.
By your, you mean in your heart or partially in your heart? What are you talking about? Is it more gay or less gay to be fucked by 6 inches of dick or 4 inches of dick? What do you mean? He said there were 30. No, he said there were 30 million that came in under Biden, and by their own numbers, oh my god, that's a failure. He's a binary fucking failure. No, because the border will be assaulted more. He's not gonna fix it anymore. Hold on, wait now. A
conservative, that's an indictment of Trump, but not from the left.
There will be no and this will be the highest year for Democrats. Okay, there won't be. Hold on, nothing that you're about to say, nothing about what you're going to say matters because of 2 reasons. You're going to publicly criticize him afterwards, even though we all knew that he was going to be you absolutely support the next Republican or nobody. You get guaranteed no matter what. So it doesn't matter what your
Whoa, shit.
It doesn't matter. You're always going to vote for the next Republican. Because then the criticism doesn't matter. They know they're going to get your vote anyway.
Tell me that wasn't some impressive shit.
I care. If I was a politician and you were criticizing me, why the fuck would I care? Yeah.
And the criticism does matter.
Oh, so in the primaries, were you more supportive of Trump?
Sorry, bro. I don't have a defib. I don't have a defib. Sorry.
The other lady, fuck, I forget her name. Yeah, Nikki Haley. You were supportive of Trump?
In the primary,
yeah.
Initially, I wasn't.
Initially, you weren't, but you were eventually. You were. I don't know what weird hedge that was, but you were. You supported Trump in the primary,
right? To be honest,
right?
it's tricky because I'm a younger person. My ideology's changed in some ways since then. In the moment, I was, but looking back now, I think it's tricky.
Okay.
Come down with me, I'll say
but there's an evolution in some ways. But I don't know, like in general, it's not about like worshiping Trump and Trump is great.
How do you stabilize people? Yeah. Oh, I see.
Problems with a candidate, and then still say that they're better than the opposition, which is like radically against my ideology. Like having a D on your name isn't the reason why I'm never going to vote for it. But the reasoning is because Democrat candidates believe in Democrat ideology, which is just fully opposed to mine in almost every way. Not in every way. Actually, economically, I'm not really too. Yeah, I'm definitely more modern economically, but like I don't know. In most ways, far opposed to mine. I don't see how that pivot represents like sort of a bad faith criticism or failure to pivot. Sorry.
Are you in fake? Oh, okay. I don't think you have any major policies against Trump. I don't believe that. Can you name any? I'm just curious. The biggest one, not random stuff. And but what's the biggest policy disagreement you have with Donald Trump?
That almost seems cruel.
I think the Iranian. Oh, besides Israel. Okay, I was gonna say the Iranian nuclear strikes.
Yeah.
I think that talking about long-term. I think regime change is a really scary thing and a really turbulent thing to just assume it's going to go right. I think it's very scary to see someone like confidently say that we can just sit maintain the area. I would.
What the hell is that noise?
I would prefer to see.
Okay, how is it then? How do I because I'm just scrolling. I'm just curious, whatever, right? And I see you saying on January 3rd, this sets a great example to dictators all over the world. When Donald Trump strikes Venezuela. You quote tweet the Department of Homeland Security about Venezuela. And you're like, oh, this is epic.
Yeah, it's alright.
Out, like, me want oil. How is this like not supportive of?
My corny Twitter. Okay, I mean, it's not that I don't support the initial attack. I don't support the occupation.
Isn't the whole point of the attack to occupy and take the oil afterwards?
Well, that was the important thing, bro. It looked good.
How are you gonna take it all in one helicopter ride?
Oh shit! Run, 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 run!
It's okay, I've got a
I don't
hairpin.
know how you take oil without long-term occupation. Explain it to me. My understanding, and I might just be retarded, is I thought you would have to stand up long-term oil extraction and then refinement plants and then secure shipping routes and everything else. Yeah, but like you can't. He's not gonna get. We're not gonna get any oil from Venezuela because we can't. That requires like years or decade of like long-term capex investment.
Just
like,
keep dancing around it.
Stuff that we're not gonna do. How would you take oil without?
Watch yourself.
The reason I support the attack is not I think.
Yeah.
Trump's rhetoric then when he was saying like no new wars, right? You were like, oh, I disagree with Trump on this. Like we definitely need new wars. No.
Do you think we are
Well, it's been fun, guys. Later.
In a way, yes. Or we were, yeah. You think you can bomb countries and it's not considered what is it? What do we call it? A special military operation, or?
No, not the Putin. It's just different. Objectively, we did not experience war-like consequences of the Iranian strike, despite how somebody disagrees with that.
Was the Iraq War a war? Since we didn't really experience many consequences for that, for just deposing Saddam Hussein. This is like before you were even born, maybe. Sorry.
When I say no new wars, I mean I think it's obviously there's times where response can be justified for war, but I don't support like war efforts or engaging in war efforts. But I also think it's just a rhetorical strategy. But yeah, I support that.
If the president were to invade and try to capture Greenland, would you support that?
Probably.
What are you weighing here to say probably not?
It would be the way it's
Well, if you're getting on, get on, guys.
And I think in the case of Maduro's strike or Maduro's capture,
Everyone ready?
but specifically, I think it's, this is more conversational than hardline. But I think that if the Greenland invasion was done in a certain way, maybe I'd support it. But like presently, every way that I see it going down, it seems to be like it would be a negative thing. Unless, but it depends though on the rationality of it in some ways.
Do you think that if the European Union were to send some, if the EU were to send some assassin, fucking some Jason Bourne type character to assassinate Donald Trump, do you agree that that would probably be justified from their perspective?
The UN to send like someone to assassinate Trump?
Or the EU or whatever?
No. I don't think.
If Donald Trump is talking about invading a sovereign piece of land owned by a European nation, why would that not be justified? If you're saying it was justified for us to kill, or I'm sorry, not kill, but to capture Maduro, why would it not be justified for the European Union to do something like this to protect their interests?
Because we're not like a terrorist trying to destroy their countries.
What would you call capturing Greenland illegally from them and stealing it?
Yeah, that would be negative. I mean, there would be reason for them to be oppositional to that. Obviously, it's a direct attack.
Yeah. So why? So would they not have? Yeah. You don't think they would have some moral right or have some justification to try to assassinate the U.S. leader there in that case?
Actually, what do batteries do? Do they turn to chemicals or something? What do they recycle down to? Oh, those.
That's very different, though. Like it's like.
Okay, so if the United States starts sending boats...
To be fully frank, these are hypotheticals. Like, if this did happen, it would take a few days for me to think about it. I'd have to read through everything. Speaking off the top of my head, I have not
for everything.
How I would feel if Trump invaded Greenland.
Okay. Isn't it worth thinking about since he keeps talking about it over and over again, and we just showed
True.
the president of the United States is willing to unilaterally... Okay,
I don't think
he just deposed the leader of another state for no reason, right?
What'd you say?
I mean, he just like on his own, unilaterally from the White House, just deposed the leader of a foreign state. So I don't know why it would be that crazy.
Let's just cycle down to that and that. You know what? Sell that.
It's a pretty big leap, right?
No. It's a much further leap to go from not doing anything to getting rid of Maduro
you don't
that.
You don't think that annexation is a big leap from a deposition?
Oh, no.
Not as much as the leap from not doing it to Maduro is. The leap from Maduro to Greenland is much shorter than the leap from where we are to Maduro.
Yeah, that's not an argument against it. That's not an argument that's gonna happen. I mean, obviously, like, yeah, we're closer to that direction. But I guess this is something where I'd prefer not to take a hardline stance on, because I want to, truthfully, I'd like to learn more about it. I'm not hard partisan about it, but I'd like to see
What does he have to learn? I don't understand.
it would be, and I don't even know if the information is here right now to do that.
Okay.
But
all right. Well, any other topics you want to float over?
That's wild to me.
Sorry, can I ask you a
It's like, what would you think about invading another country? I'm not sure I need to think about that one. What? Oh, that's what they took. Oh,
not a big
shit.
fan of
Nice.
it. I feel like every time I see a new paper come out or a new study, it just doesn't seem to do what people want it to do. I think there's a way to implement it in some ways where I'd be okay with it, like to reduce the cost of some federal programs. But as it stands right now, with the way people talk about it, it seems like it just doesn't have very good results.
Do you think like the
Do I have a thing to make a renegade?
I've seen a lot of this from like Elon Musk and people like that, where it's like
Actual
as
question.
AI rises to a certain level, people
I
will
do have the ability to make a renegade.
income will have to be supplemented, obviously, through like a universal high income or whatever. Would
Okay,
you
well, I'm
consider
pretty happy
even,
with
like,
that.
a universal high income program to be like a positive or a negative?
Explosives bench.
I'd have to see how it's implemented, but if Elon Musk said it, there's a good chance that probably the opposite is true because I guess fucking retarded, so I'm not sure. The
I think
there's
it
something
would
called
be really
the
negative.
lump of labor fallacy, where people assume that once some level of automation occurs, that nobody's going to have work. But the thing is that once people get more stuff, they always want more and more and more stuff. So there's always like a greater demand. So humans just tend to shift into other jobs. Now, some people theorize that some kind of general AI or stronger AIs are actually going to cause a thing to happen where there's less work to be had and people legitimately don't have jobs to work. I don't know if that happens. We're entering like a whole new economic era that nobody's.
Yeah, they claim it. I don't know if
before,
it's. I actually don't know at this point if that's true or
Yeah, I
not.
think it's very
So
concerning.
yeah.
I really do not like UBI. I think it's like very bad and like a big threat to like a human life. But well, I
Why?
guess I'll let you get back to the stream and everything. I appreciate you bringing me on. Thank you very much.
Wait, I'm just curious. Why do you think UBI is a huge threat to human life? or
Oh,
whatever?
sorry. So I think like the main, like, I guess what makes human life, I guess, pleasurable, I think, is like going through the process of like achievement. Like, I think that's by far the most important thing for human psyche. Like, I think it's almost hard to even simulate that. Like, I think if people don't directly go through the process.
We're going back in there again.
They're like
Yeah, fuck it. Let's go back in
in
there
some
again.
ways physically
Night
fulfilling, really
Raid.
bad for long-term psychological development. I think you see that in people who have like really high amounts of like inheritance. I think you see that in a lot of different scenarios. But I think it threatens like the identity of like, a human inherently.
Okay. All right. Well.
Gotcha. Well, just thought that was interesting. But appreciate you having me on. Happy to talk about that ice shoe in Minnesota. And thank you very much.
Yeah. Thanks. I appreciate the conversation. Be careful, bud. Bye.
Take care.
Dan Crenshaw post save videos.
What have we got here? Oh, not too bad. And we're right next to. Oh,
Looks like you might be missing
sweet.
some context here, specifically the part where the guy takes a swing at a federal agent. Also, the part where the federal agent is trying to move past him. But sure,
Have
let's
your
move
eyes
over
adjusted
to
to the
arrest this
dark yet,
citizen,
Raider?
so we can make
Loot is
everything
ripe for the
stupid
picking
as
while most of Toledo is asleep.
7-second
Though my
video.
suppliers
Alright,
say
let's
that
go.
ARC is twice as vigilant after sunset.
Is he swinging here? Wait, hold on. Oh no, I think it's just he's like very awkwardly moving. Look at the way his left hand is. Watch right here. Boom. Like he's like doing this thing with his left hand. He's like going to the side. Like he's like his hand is like fucking. Remember the twirly things you used to do in fucking gym in grade school? I felt like his arm was just moving away. Like he's not. He's obviously not punching anybody here. I don't think he's. I don't think his hand's not even high enough. I don't think he's hitting him here. Okay, can somebody riddle me this? I feel like iPhones for the past 17 generations have had like fucking 8K 120 FPS footage. Why is it that every fucking cop video, everything that gets uploaded on the internet is like, here's from my 1998 Nokia vertical phone, all fucking 700 megahertz of this ARM processor is working as hard as it can to churn out these 12 pixels of video. What the fuck? We need better recording, okay? If you're gonna record and post some cop slop or whatever, okay? He's blocking the officer's arm, LOL, look. I don't think he was, it looks like he just, like, look at how his arm moves when he's running, like right there, like he just did. I don't think he's, I don't even know if he's trying to block something. I feel like he's just like running and his hand on the left is like fucking, it's just worth moving. Oh shit, actually wait, does the officer strike first with his right hand? Or I wonder if the kid comes in and the officer interprets his hand moving there if he thought he was gonna get hit. Maybe the officer tries to block what he thinks is a hit. Or might not, the officer might not be doing anything at all. Maybe he's just trying to get in. He's like moving his arm to like get in through the door. This is literally like the worst. I feel like this is like optimally. I feel like the guy's like, okay, we're gonna do this attack, and it's gonna be the worst angle ever for fucking everything. All of the action is gonna be right here, behind the officer. Oh my god.
What the fuck is going on here, man?
I know that I don't have the ability to fight out here because he's got reach on me. He's like a foot taller. But if I bring him into the space, now we can start.
Motherfucker.
And leave the phone recording? I feel like you need to just block everything. Like, did you really have the mind to like, hold this recording up? Because like at this point where the kid knows he's getting attacked, like the phone comes down now and it's like he's just trying to run or whatever.
Hey, just watch it. There's a rat somewhere in the loading bay. Oh, you got too close, bro. Sorry. I don't have a defibrillator, unfortunately. Oh, sorry. Whoa, wait. I did not mean to knock you out. Bad. Sorry.
If we did swing, why would they release him later at a Walmart?
I don't have defib.
Check the box. Check the box. It's not looted.
The situation
Oh, yeah, it's
the
totally
vehicle was
looted. It's over.
weaponized, and it
But I say it must be looted.
attacked
It's
the law enforcement.
Oh, wait.
He
There might
defended
be
himself,
a
and he defended those individuals around him. That is the definition. When there is something that is weaponized to use against the public and law enforcement, that is an act of domestic terrorism. It happened in our shores. It happened here in our country. You don't get to change the facts just because you don't like them. We will continue to look at this individual and what her motivations were. We know that there was, throughout that morning, she had harassed and impeded law enforcement operations. That raises the suspicion level with all of these law enforcement officers as far as paying attention to what her capacity is. And as you see on the videos, and they've proven out, that this law enforcement officer took the action that his training prepared him for, and he worked to make sure that he could save his own life and those around him. So the situation are that the vehicle was...
Are we reading the Mark Kelly vs. Pete Hegseth lawsuit?
Because,
What is this?
well, it couldn't have been a joke because it wasn't funny. What is funny about this? What part of this is a joke that Kamala Harris wants her own Gestapo in America, given what we are watching the actual president do right now? Which part is the funny part? A third of this country is fully checked out for politics, fully disengaged from what is happening in this country right now. At the exact moment when we need every single American to open their eyes and pay attention to what this administration is doing, not just to Americans, but to the entire world. And maybe this is something difficult for you to notice from in front of a computer in California. But for those of us in red states, we are facing the brunt on the front lines of the worst of what this administration is doing. You may not think that it matters who we have in office, but most of the most marginalized communities in this country live in red states. States where we need our neighbors to be fully tuned in to what is happening in this country so they are motivated to get out and do something about it. And yes, that includes voting. From people who have built the biggest microphone talking about current events and politics. Use that to contribute to the narrative that politics does not matter. That causes actual harm to those of us on the left. We continue to get people to open their eyes. And when we already have voter suppression, when we already have all of the hurdles that public schools in front of all of us to get access to the ballot box, y'all's contribution is contributing to the apathy.
Satisfied by it. You went on super hot take, it's kind of weird, and nobody thinks about it much, but it's probably true. One thing that probably severely changed the whole gaming this year.
Yeah, stay back, stay back, stay back. And there it goes.
What year is this? 2026?
Just so you know, there is a rat around here somewhere, so...
Alright, let's group up, kill rats.
Okay. Jesus. Hey, what the fuck?
I literally just need to kill pop triggers. I'm not interested in your question.
You could have sex with someone, roll over. Their ID could say 2008. And you're out in the safe zone. That's crazy. Holy shit. These are people with 4K images of their birth. Okay. Regardless, sorry, I don't remember. Oh. Anyway. PS1, PS2 games. It used to be that like you'd make a game, people would play it. You'd get anywhere from 20 to 100 hours out of the game, and then you need a new game to play, right? With the exception of some games like Smash or Mario Party or whatever else. But now you have like when you're releasing new games, you have to compete with things that people are putting thousands and thousands of hours into, which I think probably changes the landscape for games that are being made to some extent. I think this apparently was a really good year for games, though.
You've never been so happy, have you? Just going around blowing up poppers.
I love it. It's like, see that pop? You probably gonna rarely see. I don't know where to go, but...
Why?
Oh. And that's how you deal with a shredder.
Okay, we were told all the time not to touch these as kids. Realistically, though, there's no fucking way that touching an outlet is gonna shock you, right? There would have to be like some exposed wire or some bullshit, no?
Okay, guys, it's been real. Till next time.
Tell us what your new keyboard is. I'm embarrassed.
I like this gun.
$400
The Renegade's actually a really cool gun.
The keys are really cool though, whatever the fuck these are. Wanna get the wooden 60 HE? I don't know, I haven't heard of it.
And here's my train out of here.
Also, if anybody, if I can't order it on Amazon, I don't know what the fuck. I exclusively support Bezos.
Right, drop all this stuff up and get straight back into another night raid.
Watch the Nick Shirley interview, he sounds stoned. I've seen clips of it.
Hey, how are you?
I kind of just feel like this feels bad and mean. But the guy kind of seems a little slow. A little bit. Like, this guy found his calling in slot media.
Credibility. Asking how do you gain credibility and trust? Well, you say a fact for a fact.
And the fact is that the first thing I think of when I think of Somalia is
And the fact is, what are Somalians known for? Pirating.
Well, that's in Somalia. There's no pirates in America.
Who's stealing all the money in Minnesota?
Not the same as a pirate.
That is piracy. So how do you gain more trust? Well, don't be afraid to say a fact when you, or an opinion,
even
when
if
you
I know that I'm dumb.
Yes. Am I not saying anything about the death of Charlie Kirk as well? I thought that was pretty messed up. In a way, he's somebody just like me and you who was making videos, putting it on the internet, and then people literally killed him. But I thought that was kind of messed up of you to not publicly denounce what happened to Charlie Kirk. I did. I never saw anything on Instagram.
What am I supposed to say?
You never shared anything.
I interviewed the guy who was debating him while it happened, and I mentioned a bunch of times that it was horrible and it represented like one of the worst pivots in American politics ever.
And I didn't even watch the interview because I didn't want to watch that.
Well, you should watch.
These guys are fucking nuts.
Wait, what is that statement? What is that sentence?
One of the worst pivots in American politics ever.
And I didn't even watch the interview because I didn't want to watch that.
Well, you should watch it.
I don't want to.
Why? It's historically relevant.
It is historically relevant. I did lose respect for you when it felt like you went silent.
Well, you should watch the video because I say some stuff in it.
Okay, cool.
Do you ever see a word?
It's literally the...
Reality can be whatever I want.
Like, what do we... I don't know. I don't care. Whatever. That's why I just play video games now, okay?
A pillow? A pillow is a thing that I get. All right.
For an investigation, because you know a lot of people are looking at this and saying, well, wait a second, we know President Trump does not like Jay Powell, and we know that he's calling him stupid and that he hasn't cut rates fast enough. So is this political, or did Jay Powell break the law and mislead or lie to the...
And it's Fox News, so clearly they're going to say yes, he did.
Well, Maria, we'll let the system play through here. I think there's other issues that we should be focused on. I think this is the president throwing out one more, maybe he's even almost trolling here as well. We got bigger issues to go after than this one, though.
Well, it sounded honest to me.
I think are the three most benevolent billionaires.
What do you mean by the word benevolent?
Just
Jesus. Lev. What do you mean by blah 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 blah?
Just what do you think are the three most benevolent billionaires?
What do you mean by the word benevolent?
Just well-intentioned, positive billionaires who you think are creating, net positive societal.
Trump, our president. I think he.
Who do you think are the three most benevolent billionaires?
What do you mean by the word benevolent?
I can't, bro. I can't. Get me out. It's because he had to look at that sign so much for the quality luring center. It infected his mind.
What is that? Reduces vehicle code as well, increased durability and burn rate. Oh, it's not
What are
bad.
your thoughts that PC gaming or even gaming in general is hyper carried by millennials? Apparently, Zoomers don't game that much. I've never considered that it's more a generational thing for millennial people. Maybe.
Didn't I read a study somewhere that's saying the average age of a gamer is now like late 30s, early 40s? Or put another way, my age?
As much if we could infinitely scroll on things.
Maybe Zoomers like to get outside more and do things, you know?
I think the next Democrat in office should be a dictator for a little bit. Just go full fucking Kamala Hitler or whatever bullshit. And then try some things. I want to see some things.
The only thing that's going to bother me is if I lose this gun, I absolutely need to get
scrolling app. Or
the
find
core.
The apps just not have the scrolling features.
Otherwise, I
No Reels
can't
on
get this gun
Instagram,
back, and that's going to really bug
For
me.
You page on X or videos, whatever. No, whatever.
But
YouTube
hopefully
stores,
we should be good in
and
here.
We'll just, and then in 1 month we'll reconvene on that as a country. Like, okay, how are we feeling, guys? I feel like you would see like.
Let's go to the loading bay.
It'd be like American like GDP growth and productivity, and it's like, okay, guys, just 1 month, and then we'll come back and we'll see how we feel. This would be it right here. Where's that picture? The world if whatever happened, and it's like with the Jetsons, the fucking space buildings and everything. Oh my god.
Light bulb just in case, you never know. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Wait, can multiple spiders jump on you? Only if you
I was the guy who for 6 months in a row was I was like 16.
The incest
And
debate.
one of Destiny's incest, whether or not
Run, run, bro.
6 months in a row, I would just go around to random students debating them on incest. And most of the time, I would just end up calling them any arguments. They would just it's weird. And I'd say, yeah, but if I eat apples with ketchup, that's weird too, but it doesn't mean it's morally wrong, you know? But they would get so was I the weird?
Who are these people walking in Arc Raider? Are these like role players? Who just walks like that? How do I get into these lobbies?
Good question.
Over encumbered? By how much? To walk that slowly?
Okay, I can't do this and listen to that at the same time because it's gonna distract the hell out of me every time I think I hear something. Oh wait, that's useful. Wait. Oh. That thing sounds awful goddamn close. Right.
Go to the loading bay.
That way. Ooh, what the hell's a power rod? Camera? Why the hell not? Right, I have to get past that fucking thing, so... I guess we're doing it the long way. Too slow. Watch, it's gonna get me now. Shit. Fucking right. I don't have to go around there, that's the thing. Oh, is it dead? Gotcha. Nice, nice, nice. Over here to the loading bay. Right, all these have been grabbed. So I guess we're going... What, that way? Went across? No, this way. Fucker. Up. Get up, 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 get out of the way. He's down. Nope, not me. I don't think so, no. But thanks. Useful.
Let's head home at the loading bay metro.
Fucking watch it, watch it, watch it. Get the fuck on quick. Everyone in, everyone in, everyone in, everyone in.
Hello and welcome
Hang on,
to the
wait.
Wrestlers Pal.
That's interesting.
Would you support a ban on X if it doesn't change?
I'm not there yet, and I'm generally not in favour of banning social media. I think there needs to be better regulation.
But it's very clear, isn't it? Like, are you talking about regulation? Musk isn't interested in regulation. He's not interested. He calls any attempt to regulate his platform fascism.
The right to free speech is not an unlimited right. Look at the jurisprudence coming from the United States of America. The views of Musk. By the way,
progressive politicians have been too weak.
I think we've got to have more confidence.
The News Agents podcast is brought to you by HSBC UK.
Right, what is this thing?
The world of opportunity.
It's John.
It's Lewis.
And we are at City Hall in London, and these questions about Grok we're going to address with the Mayor of London, Sir Sadiq Khan, in just a moment. But as we were coming over here, we heard that Ofcom had announced that it was launching an investigation into X because of what it's been putting out on its AI kind of platform Grok, and the possibility
We're quickly reaching the point where we just have too much. Actually, I might do it no.
Some £18 million potentially, and then the possibility that if he doesn't comply with that, well, there could be a
Gotta sell more
to
crap.
shut X down in the UK. And the question of whether the government really has the appetite to do that has to be asked.
Yeah, and this we talked about this on the show last week. It has become an increasing source of deep unhappiness among Labour MPs, backbencher MPs in particular. This concerns specifically the regulator Ofcom, saying it is responding to, quotes, deeply concerning reports of image manipulation, which it said may amount to intimate image abuse or pornography, sexualized images of children.
It is kind of strange to me how conservatives are basically arguing that it's wrong to stop pedophiles from watching stuff online.
Hundreds of millions of dollars or ban it. And indeed this follows, we saw Indonesia, the Indonesian government banning banning the use of Grok in this way over the course of the weekend for precisely the same reason. The UK government over the course of the last week has been keen to say that this is a decision for Ofcom. We had some criticism on the show last week. In a sense of that, you can kind of see why they would want to make it look like this is something for the regulator rather than the government, so it's not government censorship as such, but nonetheless, really this is a deeply political decision, which I think probably ought on some level to be taken by ministers. But the response from the UK government so far has been basically to say Ofcom do want to ban X if they refuse to comply with the obligations under the Online Safety Act. This is what Heidi Alexander, the Transport Secretary, said to me about that precise subject on the RBC show yesterday. If they don't comply with the various sanctions that Ofcom could impose, would the government support Ofcom in removing X from the UK?
Well, I think the powers that Ofcom have as the independent regulator is to apply to a court to, in the most extreme circumstances, perhaps through business disruption activity, take X offline, but that would be a decision for the independent regulator.
But is it something you would support if they felt they had no choice?
If Ofcom came to that conclusion that X hadn't taken appropriate action in response to them, then obviously we would support what the independent regulator.
Be right back.
And you can imagine that Elon Musk has responded in a temperate and moderate way.
Happy to talk, happy to discuss.
Has accused Keir Starmer's government of being fascist after the minister stepped up the threats to ban the social media site over those AI-generated sexualized images. And he said that this was just another example of any excuse for censorship from the British government. So there you have Elon Musk, who spectacularly fell out with Donald Trump a few months back, but is absolutely right back in there now. I think there's he's doing something today where he's appearing with Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of State for War, as he's now called, and so it shows that he's very much back in the White House circle, which again raises the risk level for Keir Starmer if he wants to move against X. And of course that maybe explains why the government is saying nothing to do with us, we've got an independent regulator, we'll let them get on with the work, it's not our decision whether action is taken against X, it is down to the regulator, not us.
Yes, and I wouldn't hold your breath necessarily for some dramatic action from Ofcom. Ofcom have repeatedly shown that they are pretty toothless as a regulator. They have showed repeatedly, I think they simply do not understand the digital world and the digital media world in which we now live. We have this extraordinary set of circumstances in which, everything on traditional broadcast media is highly regulated, everything on digital media, despite the fact that sometimes they're owned by the same companies, is unregulated. Fine. But we have seen them repeatedly be pretty toothless as a regulator. The government is passing the buck to them again.
5 more minutes left. Okay, let's go in there.
That it sets up for Starmer.
Damn, getting an electric storm. Oh.
Is completely back, or largely back, in the MAGA fold. We have seen Republican congresswomen over the course of the weekend say that if the UK government does act against X, then the US government should respond with economic sanctions against the UK. And yet at the same time, you have got a government which has just before the end of last year launched its violence against women strategy. It is one of the top 5 missions of the government to halve violence against women and girls. Its MPs rightly, deeply care about the subject, and you have got one of the most powerful men in the world, because of his deeply libertarian, I would argue nihilistic view of how freedom of expression ought to operate, seriously drawing as a line in the sand, saying that basically non-consensual sexualized images of women, girls, children should be okay in the name of freedom of speech. And indeed, X responded to it the other day by saying, well, we're going to limit that to premium users, that particular function, as if it's okay, so long as you're paying for it, then what's the problem, lads, right? That is the kind of philosophy that we're dealing with here, and that is basically the challenge for Keir Starmer, and it is a nightmarish one, but it is a test of his mettle and the government's mettle, as we were saying last week, for seriously how much they care about
Right, okay, let's see if we can. I want to see if I can get the goddamn turret.
Yeah, and we know that Keir Starmer, since he's been Prime Minister, has sought to stay on the right side of Donald Trump and America, and recognises that Elon Musk is a very powerful voice within that country. And as you say, Lewis, we have seen the government avoiding confrontation wherever it can. Was the lifting of Maduro from Venezuela a breach of international law? There are so many examples where they haven't wanted conversation. But over this, it looks like they might have to, with the chill effect that could have on Anglo-US relations. Now,
Okay,
we'll
come on.
ask Khan all about that in just a moment. Because the Mayor of London has today announced that
Fuck, we're too far away. God damn it.
other areas of crime are also falling. And you can see the Sadiq.
Let's go to research and administration. Hello? If anyone can hear me, an electromagnetic storm is currently raging over topside.
Yeah, no shit.
Beware the lightning strikes if you're outdoors.
I mean, obviously, the homicide statistics for London are much, much better. But if you talk to any of our production people, they've all got anecdotes of antisocial behaviour, petty crime, inconvenience. Does anything change the narrative about the fact that
Well, I think it's all linked very fascinating about these other stuff.
Hey up there.
It's really distressing. Personal robbery, theft down 25%, more than 1,000 additional arrests, making progress against robbery gangs, a real issue.
Let me ask you a slightly different question, not about time, about why you that London has become politicised by Donald Trump, by also in Britain as well. Right?
Hey there, how are you?
London is the source of division. And I've never known that.
I think we have to accept that politicians and commentators have spamming our social media feeds with unnecessary distortion. A variety of reasons spamming I think that's
Is that a Rocketeer?
That it has a Muslim there as well.
That's an issue for some people. I suspect.
Fuck me.
We are, I would argue, objectively it's a problem for those people who assert a political agenda. What you see is not just President politicians and commentators. You see people in this country, politicians and commentators, jumping on that.
Is that, I mean, in the sense that are there, it's very clear from saying that there is this narrative, this kind of information which portrays your London as a dystopia. Is that how real life is? I mean, does it affect kind of how American businesses say?
Where the hell? Right, the only place I know they have a goddamn thing is there, and it's so goddamn far away. I have not got anywhere near enough firepower to take that thing out. Okay, we'll have to do something else. Actually, you know what? No. Okay, we'll have to go the other way. Screw it. Like goddamn Frankenstein. Oh, lightning strike. Sorry, dude. Well, maybe it's time for me to do what we do best. Check out these bad boys.
Both trying to address the cost of living crisis in our respective cities. Both things respectively, the New York policy and the London policy. New York
Now you talk about the misinformation that London we've had the whole issue with what has been on X and on Rock. There's now going to be an investigation. Would you support that if it doesn't change?
I'm not there yet, and I'm generally not in favour of
Come on. Is there someone over there? No, I don't think so. Crap, crap, crap. Hey guys, how are you? Alright, is it over here somewhere?
There have been 12,000 arrests in relation to kind of, infringements of free speech.
Have you guys seen a turret round here with a core?
The big turtle.
Yeah. I need to get the Sentinel core, and I'm trying to find a turret. That's all I've been doing today. All right, no worries. Thank you.
Is regularly, just in the last 24 hours, retweeting white supremacist content, suggesting that the United States is everywhere posting
I might as well get out of here.
is going without remediation.
Head home at the water treatment elevator.
Actually, you know what?
Let's go to the dome.
What on earth are you fighting? Yeah, it's called a leaper. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
So many foreigners have come into this country. I mean, I think in 1961, London was 93% white. It's probably less than half now. In 2021, it was 53%. London has changed beyond all recognition, and this is what the far right are talking about when they talk about civilizational erasure.
Well, look, I mean, we're an island. How far back do you go in terms of immigration? The Vikings?
Well, I'm talking about 60 years in people's lifetime. That's, quite a profound change.
Well, I think there's two issues. One is I'm somebody who speaks from personal experience in saying I'm born and raised in London. So my grandparents were migrants from India to Pakistan. My parents are migrants from Pakistan to the UK. I ain't going nowhere. I've got nowhere else to go to. I'm born and raised in South London.
But they say you're not English. You know that. They say that you're not truly English.
Yeah.
That's where the debate is rooted.
Yeah, but if we're taking somebody's nationality based on the way they were born, I mean, Boris Johnson wasn't born in the UK either. I could give a number of examples of Great Britons not born in the country which they naturalised or which becomes their country of choice. I think it's a really dangerous argument to have. You could go to President Trump himself, who his grandparents are originally from as well. But actually, look at the contribution great countries have had from people who are from a different country of origin. I think the flag of your country of origin, or the colour of the flag of your country of origin, or the colour of your skin shouldn't be the criteria upon we judge the contribution made by citizens. And I think it's a really dangerous argument, and we should push back and explain that actually one of the reasons why many of us love America,
Call snap, night raid, damn it.
Is the contribution made by successive waves of migrants in the USA, and indeed whether you look at the UK or France or elsewhere. There's a different conversation, by the way, about controlling migration. We've got to control migration. We've got to have strong borders. We've got to make sure that people speak French. I think it's really important to speak their first language. Look, the ability of my dad to go to a fancy was made much better because he could speak English. The ability to be a bus driver, I'm not sure if I've mentioned this, my dad was a bus driver. He couldn't do it.
The Prime Minister's dad was a toolmaker. I don't know.
I think there are different conversations, and there is an issue about, you know, if there's too much migration over a short period of time, the impact it has on public services. Those are different conversations from what you're alluding to, which is the far right asserting you don't want to be a puppet Brit or a puppet American if the colour of skin is different. I mean, Rishi Sunak, I mean, you know, the idea that Rishi, who he may be from a different political party, but that Rishi Sunak isn't an Englishman or a Brit is ridiculous.
Do you, there is though an argument, and we've heard it articulated again today, I don't know if you've seen, but the former Tory Chancellor Nadine Zahawi has defected to Reform, one of the latest Conservative. He's made an argument to say, and he says this of course, to a Muslim man, he's with Islamic sectarianism. Indeed, he argued that at the next election, he thinks there will be a wave of sectarian Islamist parties or candidates standing in British cities and displacing, in his words, half the cabinet, and that we've ignored the problem of political Islamism in this country for too long. What would your response to that be?
Well, I'm not sure what he's referring to and stuff, and I would speak a bit more with Nadeem to understand what he's talking about.
This is Apollo. Here's a tip, Raider. Hornets tend to hover. If my designs hold up, that's the perfect time to stick them with an explosive or two.
Churches and so forth. It's very important to get people mixing and mingling. I think it can be quite a problem if you people living in silos. I'm not sure what you mean, so it'd be hard to explain. Use that sort of language is a problem too much.
Well, he's actually compared Britain as it is at the moment to the Iraq of his childhood. That's how sectarian he believes Britain is.
That's bullshit.
Every single Muslim is involved in sectarian politics. Every single Muslim is somebody who is not the case. So I'm not sure what Nadeem is driving at. You know, there may be problems in relation to people's concerns around particular issues. Our job as politicians, as leaders, is to address and influence people. And I think the way, generally speaking, is to offer hope rather than fear.
We talked a lot, I mean, in a way our conversation, something we talk about on the show a lot, is the kind of weird fusion that's taking place, particularly over the last year between US and UK politics. And it feels as if, you know, there's almost a conversation. And it's not just, they talk about us a lot, certainly the right of American politics, you a lot, London a lot, the UK. There has been, actually, both from Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency that is being used by President Trump to deport lots of people, and indeed sometimes even American citizens. Reformer actually pledged to create Silicon Valley. What do you make of that? And if you were a mayor of this city when that came about, would you cooperate with British ICE?
Can I explain the consequences of ICE to Americans that are talking about the experience of ICE? Because if you're somebody who may be born in another country, if there's somebody who's got a skin color that's not right, you're petrified about tapping your shoulder. You're petrified about, or worse, you're petrified about your nationality being questioned, your loyalty being questioned. You're petrified about being deported to a country you've never been to. And of course, there's got to be proper controls at our borders. And of course, you should enforce the laws of people that break the laws in terms of being here who shouldn't be here. The idea that you have a situation where people are looking to us for inspiration
Shit.
is not something that I subscribe to. But also, I think we should at the same time talk up the benefits of lawful migration, but also talk about the disbenefits that we sort of address illegal migration at the same time. I think it's possible.
Let me just ask you this. Do you think you're winning the argument? You are there as a sort of symbol of multiculturalism, liberal London, won 3 terms in office. But in the rest of the country, it feels like reform is very much underway. It's dominant in the opinion polls. And you are being used as the exemplar by them of all that can go wrong. And they seem to be garnering support as a result of it.
Well, one is that welcome in us with the new agencies to just rebut some of these myths and untruths about London. Also to talk about why diversity is great, why talk about the difference it makes to our great city. And here's the fact they can't argue.
My question was, are you winning the argument?
The question they can't argue with is the evidence, right? And as a former lawyer, I think you win cases with evidence and with strong arguments based upon the evidence. And I can understand, by the way, if people only have one point of view being presented, they might subscribe to
Head home at the loading bay metro.
So, for example, if reform are playing in your favour because you can't get decent housing, because you can't get decent healthcare, because you can't get kids to the local school, and they say the reason is because of the heat, you can understand why if there's not a counter view, they might decide to support reform. The response is actually we've not invested enough in national service. We've not invested enough in local schools. We've not built enough council homes. And that's why it's incredibly important to address people's fears and concerns rather than play on them.
Thank you very much.
Something we came to expect in 2025 on were the regular drums of reform press conferences. Sometimes a bit of a surprise, sometimes a betrayal, sometimes quite dramatic, sometimes.
There isn't much left, truth be told.
Guess what?
Oh, for real? Oh, well done. Well, that's one way to do it. Take care. Say what? Fuck. Run. Well, that was good timing, bad timing.
Shown that he has been an opportunist in the past, but he is now taking his opportunity because he thinks the best chance for the next election, who is going to win, Farage.
Zahawi is by far, I think, the most senior former Conservative person associated with the Conservative government. His effector reform previously that had been Danny Kruger and Secretary of State. Zahawi, as you say, John, had been Tory Party chairman. Was for about 40 seconds Chancellor of the Exchange in the interregnum between Boris Johnson and Liz Truss. People remember when Sunak resigned as Chancellor, Zahawi was put in to replace him, and about a few days later called on Boris Johnson to go. So he's no stranger to a little bit of political intrigue, well liked within the Conservative Party, well liked actually within Westminster, a Brexiter of very long standing, very closely associated with. So yeah, I mean, like, clearly a scalp for the Reform Party. Kemi Badenoch's been on a bit of a roll recently in terms of kind of that slightly diffuse commodity of momentum. She's been doing quite well at Prime Minister's Questions. There's been some evidence of a bit of a polling bounce for her personally, maybe the Conservative Party reform on the slide a little bit. So that will dent potentially some of that momentum. The danger, of course, for reform is that this is the latest of a string of senior MPs, and you'll have noted, John, that they all tend to be rather alike. Where are they all from? They're all from the Conservative Party. And not just the Conservative Party, but a particular wing of the Conservative Party, which is the sort of hardcore...
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna call it a night here. I think I'm done. Playing for ages. Made up some good progress though. Level 66. So we'll carry on tomorrow night. Okay, cool. Thanks very much. Take care. Bye bye.